Okay. Well,
National Turtle Day.
before we do the battles, we have some supports to watch.
Some.
We have a few, so tuck in and get your popcorn, because we gotta watch them now.
My goldfish. Let's go.
You have your goldfish.
Ah, a perfect balance of rich.
Ah,
smooth, and
JPEG.
acidic. Coffee tastes best the day after roasting.
Hello, Ferdinand. You seem to be in a good mood.
What is that supposed to mean?
Oh my gosh, Ferd.
Perhaps you expected me to hold a grudge against you after our duel. In fact, I have moved on.
Have you now? Well, I'm glad to hear it.
I took it hard at the time, I will confess. I always thought that I equaled you in skill, or even surpassed you. But you showed me that I do not come close to matching your talents. Yet a true noble does not give up in the face of defeat. I will continue my training, and one day I will be an elite warrior. That is the path I must take, as a noble and a man of honor.
You really are in a good mood. Your determination is admirable.
Yes, one day I will surpass your abilities, and I will defeat you in combat.
No, you
Ferdinand,
won't.
there's something I've been meaning to say to you for a while now. Honestly, I couldn't care less that you are of noble birth. Your fierce determination doesn't come from your bloodline. It's your own doing. The reason I value you and want to be friends with you is because of who you are, not who your family is.
I have something I would like to say to you, too. Certainly we must recognize the common folk who strive for greatness and attain it. But for those of us born into nobility, things are more complicated. From birth, nobles must excel. If we do not, we will be forced out of our houses. This environment breeds superior
Really? They just kick them
individuals,
out?
and they in turn recreate the rigorous environment for their own children. Without that cycle, there would be no political elite guiding the world
Ferd,
towards
edelgard
prosperity.
is going to destroy the nobility, so you should
you're
probably get
saying
used
that the kind
to
of world I'm
that
striving to
idea.
create is wrong?
I would not go so far as to say your way is wrong, just that another way might be better. If you insist upon undoing the nobility, then we must build something in its place. We can provide free education for all, and then select the highest performing students for more intensive training and tutoring. I truly believe
Couldn't
that
you
people
argue
are
that the lower
products of their
performing students might
environment.
need extra tutoring?
Finding a way to educate the people. Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm impressed by how much thought you've given this. No matter what shape the world takes, I'm sure I'll always need people like you by my side.
As
People with
annoying as
strong
you are,
principles
Ferd.
who will argue with me and force me to consider ideas that are contrary to my own.
Wow,
Yes,
what
exactly.
a terrible person.
Finally,
What a
Edelgard,
dictator.
You appreciate how important I am to your cause.
Wow.
I've always thought of you as a valued friend, Ferdinand. That's nothing new.
Even if you are a
Edelgard,
pain in the butt.
I have to tell you something. I think now is the right time. Do you know what my ancestor Derek von Eyre said after your ancestor defeated him?
I am
He said,
Derek von Eyre?
You are an imperial
Probably.
beauty. Please, accept me as your husband.
Halt, Ferdinand. There's a time and a place for everything.
No.
But that time is not now.
Stay away from my wife. Edelgard's
God
like,
damn
if
it,
you
Ferd.
propose to me, I swear. Jeez, Ferd.
Even I could tell the moment wasn't then.
No.
You guys just agreed to disagree, and that your differing opinions matter to one another. That's all that happened there.
Yeah, again, you don't... Not everyone needs to be romantically involved.
I like that she was like, no. I'm good.
Ferdinand von Rejected.
Here again, I see.
Oh my god, I forgot about the butler outfit.
Of course, Your Majesty. I couldn't investigate this place
Every
freely when those
time.
of the church were around.
So good.
Understandably. Now, about my proposal to create an institution for Crest and Relic research. I've decided to move forward with it. As for who will lead the charge...
You want me to be in charge of the thing after all, don't you?
Why not?
Actually, no. I was just considering some conditions for whoever applies for the job.
Conditions? What kind of conditions?
To start, I won't allow the position to be a secondary one. That excludes lords who are busy looking after their own territories.
Are you suggesting landholding lords would have no means of applying?
quite the opposite. I'm looking for applicants with enough passion for the job that they're willing to relinquish any landholding rights they possess. They will be provided with necessities like food, clothing, and housing, but will receive no further compensation. That said, they will be free to take as much time off as they desire.
Do you expect anyone to be interested in such an odd position?
That's my hope.
Have you gone mad? Demanding someone rescind their land rights and then provide no compensation? Even the unlimited time off is a rather discourteous perk to offer. No one would accept room, board, and endless time to research. No one but me. Why must you...
Why must I what?
Why must you understand me so well? I asked you to consider the feelings of those below you. I never expected you to consider mine to this extent.
I told you I'd figure out a way to make use of your talents that you'd find acceptable.
Honestly, no woman has ever gone through this much trouble for me before.
Then have you
No.
decided?
Don't make it
Yes,
weird,
I have.
Linhart.
I would be most pleased to accept your offer, Your Majesty.
A girl
Wow.
did something nice to me?
Oh, no. Wow, she's structuring a job position to help someone who is, in my opinion, neurodivergent. How evil. I know, man. Evil.
I know.
Super evil. Yeah, she's
Yeah,
so
it's a job for
constrictive,
women.
only pushes forward her own agenda, not listening to others. Yeah, that's clearly it.
Yeah.
How are you today,
Lysithia's hair bouncing?
Fine,
It had
thank
to
you.
load in.
And yourself?
She's just using new
Quite well,
shampoo.
thank you.
Very bounce.
I overheard
Much
something
bounce.
recently. Something pertaining to you and your vision for the future. Is it really true that you intend to create a world in which crests no longer exist?
It's true. My aim is to dismantle the current system of aristocracy. The only reason nobles enjoy the status they do is because their bloodlines carry crests. If crests lose their value, so will titles of nobility.
I really agree with your thinking. My parents have suffered throughout their lives due to their nobility. Due to my own crests, I've never been able to live a normal life. I'm sick of nobility and crests, of all of it. It sounds as if it's truly your mission to change things. I'll pledge my life to your cause, however short it may be.
Lysithia,
Has your hair always been that color, by the way?
huh?
Aw.
Bonding
I asked
moment.
because mine wasn't always this color. I lost all pigment after receiving my 2 crests. Edelgard, I want a world where people like you and I are no longer victimized. I want you to bring that world into being. If it's within me to help that come to pass, then I'll do whatever it takes.
Understood. I promise to do all I can to see this goal to fruition. And I want you
Heart.
to promise something in return.
Cat's
You
broken.
will never stop fighting
So
for your life. Whatever terrible fate awaits us, we can fight it and prevail. I need you to trust me on that. Do you promise?
I promise. I will try my best to believe that.
Good girl. Now then, would you care for a sweet cake?
Please do not call me that. But, yes. Yes, I would.
Yes, I absolutely would.
I know I'm biased, but I really do think Edelgard has a lot of really good supports that
Yeah.
are very telling, you know?
It shows how much she like cares about everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
All finished. Time to go. You really must stop sneaking up on me, Shamir.
And what if I don't? I can take you.
Maybe. Either way, it's a waste to fight an ally.
We're allies now? I guess I should be more careful with you. Are you sure it was right to kill them? I believe your mistress told you to let them go.
That is exactly what I will say I did. But leaving them alive would have been a mistake. I did what had to be done.
Is that so? Maybe you're not just some sycophant. It takes guts to disobey a direct order.
Lady Edelgard's time is rightfully occupied with a great deal of concern and contemplation. Her affairs are of far greater consequence than a trifle like this. Much rests on the decisions she makes. But little details of this kind happen to be my area of expertise, so I simply handle them. Better that than to burden her with needless debate.
Logical through and through, aren't you?
Still don't lie to her.
That is how I do things.
I like people who are thorough.
You seem quite thorough in your methods as well.
As a rule, I am. Regarding decisions, I planned on leaving Fodlan after completing my contract. But now I'm starting to think I might stay here.
Stay here. I'm forced to wonder what your intentions might be.
I have no
Does she have a crush on
ulterior
you too?
motives. I've just grown a little fond of you.
Oh my god.
Excuse me. You've what?
For someone so intelligent, you're very dense. It's not just about you, though. I've learned to like Lady Edelgard and most everyone else here as well. I wouldn't mind staying on to
Aw.
work as your specialist.
She just found family.
It's a fine offer,
She did.
but perhaps we should wait until after the war to discuss it thoroughly.
Fair.
Schubert's like, I don't
you
understand
owe me.
emotions.
Remember?
Not much I can say to that, is there?
I don't want to feel things.
God damn it, Wolf Prince.
On the upside, they would shop at the same store, so, you know, they could go shopping together.
I was gonna say they steal each other's clothes, and I was like, wait, it might not work in Hubert's case.
He's a little taller than her.
Yeah.
Ah, Dorothea. I am surprised to
wife?
find you here. I did not think you were all that religious.
There's a lot you don't know, Ferdy. But you're right. I'd hardly call myself devout. After all, it was thanks to the goddess and her noble regime that I suffered so much as a child.
You must be quite brave to speak so coarsely in this hallowed place. But what do you
She doesn't
mean
think it's hollow.
about suffering as a child?
It's a good
I
point.
really have to tell you. Oh, forget it. I'm sure you already know that I'm an orphan. I grew up in the alleys of Enbar, begging for coins, eating scraps, drinking from drains.
I see. I remember seeing street children around the city.
I could have died. Then the right person overheard me singing. And suddenly I was in the opera. I was a songstress. And my goodness, did the nobles like me. The people who used to spit on me and call me an urchin, they praised my voice and my beauty. A nobleman who once kicked me gave me the most gorgeous shoes. I almost asked if it was a joke.
So that is why you despise the nobility. But why do you think I am the same as them? Do you really believe that is the kind of man I am? You think I would ever treat people differently based on appearances? There is nothing noble about that.
Oh, really? You're something different? That's not how I remember things. It was the very day that I was discovered. I was in high spirits. Nothing was wrong in the world. I secretly bathed in one of the town's fountains, hoping to wash off some of the dirt from the streets. I sang the same song the opera composer overheard earlier that day. And that's when you appeared.
Me? No, it could not have been.
Don't play dumb. You glared at me, the same look I'd gotten from every other noble, then you ran off. When we met at the academy, you were a different person. All smiles and friendly words. You were like a bee, Ferdinand. A bee attracted to a flower in full bloom.
So it was you then, singing that song. Dorothea, please listen. This is a misunderstanding. When I saw you, I could not take my eyes off you. I was hypnotized. Your beautiful voice, your elegant face, droplets of water on your skin that glittered in the sun. I thought you were a water nymph.
Stop it, don't lie to me.
No, it is true. I was only a child. The vision overwhelmed me. That is why I
Ew,
ran.
please no.
I plucked up the courage
Yeah.
to return, but no one was there.
Hi, Belly
I
Coco.
thought perhaps it was a dream.
No, Bear. Baron, I'm watching you. No.
maybe I can believe you. I've wanted to, ever since the day you made me those treats. I thought then that maybe you weren't like the others, but there's a lot I have to let go of, Ferdy.
Of course. I am glad we had this conversation. You know, I do not mind you thinking of me as a bee. Life as a simple drone, circling a queen.
Bzz, 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 bzz.
It actually sounds quite
Buzz,
wonderful.
Buzz. Buck Bumble.
Don't drones keep the queen safe from other bugs? I like the sound of that.
Bird just wants to be stepped on.
I mean, who can blame him? It would be funny if he started singing Buck Bumble.
If only.
If only.
Come on, sell it to me.
Why are you
Okay.
like they're
Huh?
yelling in the
What's
other
going on
guy's
here?
face?
Hey, stop that!
What do you do?
Can't you see he's not interested?
We're just talking business here. Now move it along.
Oh,
Don't you yell
I
at
just
mom.
thought it looked a little...
How dare you yell at
Actually,
mom?
Now I'm curious.
How dare.
What kind of business are you conducting? I've been told I
Shady
have a keen
biz.
eye for appraisal.
Shady business.
Just trying to buy a sword. I told him to name his price, but he won't give it up.
Any price? You must be able to afford anything your heart desires. But did you consider that he might have a good reason not to sell it? Maybe it's a family heirloom, or simply his favorite sword.
No one asked for your appraisal. Now move it. Or are you looking for
Leave
trouble?
Mom alone.
She could melt you in that armor,
That is
sir.
quite enough. You
She's
would
really
dare
good.
threaten a woman? I will not permit such ungentlemanly conduct.
You'll read your mind.
Oh,
Yeah.
hello, Ferdinand. Do you have an opinion on all this?
Behind me,
I think
milady.
he has a strong one.
I will protect you.
He
Oh my
always
God.
has a strong opinion on
Who
everything.
Are you? You looking for trouble
Act.
too?
Keep your distance, gutless knave. I just cleaned my sword. And if I maim you, I will have to clean it again. Neither of us wants that. So I suggest you leave at once.
Ah, forget it. You're not worth my time.
Ah, thank you so much. You saved me there.
Well, that is taken care of. Are you hurt, Mercedes?
Hurt? No, I'm fine. We were only talking.
Ah, I am glad. I do not abide uncouth behavior. Stopping it is my duty as a noble.
Okay, Ferd.
Yeah.
Edgy Ferd is unexpectedly funny.
Fact.
What would have been really great is if he and Hubert came in at the same time, like with the same energy of like, you know what I
Protect.
mean? Yeah, exactly.
That'd be amazing.
Delicious.
Yo.
Marianne, may I join you?
Yeah, Mercy is
Yes,
not
Ferdinand,
helpless.
of
She is
course.
quite a mage.
I love how she's probably like behind them, like, let's see how this goes.
Yeah.
Like she's not actually feeling protected.
Is something
No, I
wrong?
don't think so. I don't think she saw it that way.
I am sorry, but, you seem very different compared to how you were before.
That may be true.
Right there. You're smiling. I do not think I have ever seen you smile.
Please, you're making me blush.
I do not mean to embarrass you. I am
Ferd,
just
what was your
saying
hair just
you
doing?
seem to have truly changed.
Well, I have you to thank for that.
It defies
In
gravity.
truth, I spent a lot of time thinking about what you said.
About
it
your
meant
name?
so much when you told
You
me
say
that
it all the
everyone has a
time.
purpose to fulfill,
Why?
even me.
I
am
was
so
wondering why
glad
you
to hear
do
you say
that.
that, Marianne. I wonder, did you find a purpose for yourself?
No, not yet. But I've been much happier since I started thinking about it more. I remembered a time back when I was working at the animal clinic. The rest of the staff was so thankful for the work I had done. Even in something as simple as looking after animals, I was able to make myself useful to others. Thinking about it made me realize that anyone can make other people happy, even someone like me.
It sounds to me like you have already
Look at
found
his.
your
What
answer.
is his hair doing?
What do you mean?
It's defying gravity, like anime.
Making people happy.
True, he is
If you ask
anime.
me, that is a truly
He
worthwhile
says his own name
purpose.
like a Pokemon.
You may be right. I just remembered. I wanted to ask about your food.
Yes?
Hairspray.
What about
It's
it?
too much.
That'd be glue. Hairspray doesn't even do that.
How is it?
Oh god, curse
Maybe
thought.
spray glue.
Oh, it is delicious. The flavor and the texture
I can
are
barely see you
superb.
over this
So
JPEG,
you are
Marianne.
certainly making me happy.
Looks like he's looking around it.
Yeah, it does look like that. That's exactly what I was
I
thinking.
hope you will learn to like yourself. For what it is worth, I like you.
If they make a sequel, I hope they actually like show these scenes
Maybe if
instead
you
of
have
like,
time,
here's a picture of a
you can
teacup.
cook something for me again.
You get it,
For me
right?
alone, I mean.
Yes.
Of course.
God.
It would be my pleasure.
How the crimson rain of pain it came, falling hard upon a land aflame.
Ferd is having a
When the
very
secret blade
busy
it split
day.
the sky until the
I
heavens
like to
heard our
imagine that
cry.
all of these
In the
conversations just
hour of
happened one
vengeance,
after
will
another
you
for
heed
him.
the call?
Yeah.
On the red fields of revenge, will
That'd
you
be
help
amazing.
avenge? We must fight strong and stand tall.
Oh, Ferdinand. That song.
Manuela,
Yes.
hello.
My
What a
wife.
treat. It is most rare to see you at the training grounds. I have
Oh,
never
look,
had the
everyone,
honor
it's
of
a MILF
sparring
with
a
no
princess. Why not grab a sword?
Ferdinand, that's called changing the subject. That song you were singing, is it the one you said made such an impression on you?
Ferdinand, a day in the life of a Von Eyre.
I hope it was not too grating on your ears.
I'm not usually a
You've
fan
nothing
of
at all
any
to
of the
be
students
embarrassed
ending
about.
up with any of the
I'm
teachers.
pleased if one
but
of my
these two are
songs stayed
precious.
with you like that. Oh, it really takes
I
me
mean,
back.
also, he's an
I
adult,
remember
so...
the big
Well, yeah,
battle
yeah.
in the first
Well,
act.
all of them. All of
Yeah.
the
Season
students are
rain of
adults now, aren't
pain
they?
came,
Yeah.
falling hard upon a land of flame.
But
When
it's
the
just
sacred
like,
blade
even
did
with their
split the
age gap,
sky,
like,
until the heavens
they're really
heard
fucking
our
cute.
cry.
It's also
In the
not
hour
that
of
big of an
vengeance,
age.
will
I
you
mean,
heed the call?
it's not that
On the
big of an
red
age
fields
gap.
of revenge, will you
Compared to
help the
Hanneman and
35?
Dorothea,
strong and
Oh, yeah,
stands
no.
tall?
Hanneman's 10
Wow.
or 15 years older
My
than.
heyday is behind
15,
me.
which would put him
Yeah,
and Dorothea
that's
like
for
30
sure.
years apart.
No,
Yeah,
that was
that's the.
Which is,
Not my
I mean, that's a
preference.
Exactly the
significant
most I
age
recall
gap.
You
from
can
my
do what you
childhood.
want, but not
Yeah.
my
To
way.
have witnessed this performance in such
Yeah,
an
there's
intimate
15 years
setting.
between him and
I am
Manuela.
deeply moved.
Yeah.
I cannot
Whereas,
stop
yeah,
trembling.
that's not that bad,
I
and
feel
also
as though
like,
I am going to cry.
again, adults.
You
do
have
what you
shaken
want,
me to
but I
my
think they're
very
really cute.
core.
All right, Ferdinand, relax.
How old
I
is
can
Ferd
see
here? I
that
think
it's
he's
affected
20.
you deeply.
You made a little boy's cherished
25?
dream come true. Perhaps
Maybe
you can help
23?
realize one more.
Yeah, she's
Another one?
40.
And
Yeah, I
what
knew she
would
was
that
like
be?
35
At least
one
roughly.
point, but I
Would
can't
you
remember.
do the sword dance with me?
Hanneman says
The
she's
one that
15 years
accompanied the
younger than
song?
him.
It
So,
had a
like,
part
it
for
could
a
be an
male
estimate,
performer, if I
but
recall. I would be truly
she's roughly
honored.
I would
40. So,
ask,
I mean, like,
can we make them
I'm
be
sure
together?
I
But
can't
then
do it as well
I
now
really
as
want
I could
Lysithea with
then.
someone
But
that
you're
can save
just
her life,
so adorably.
Lysithea
You-
can only be saved by
I can't
Hanneman,
resist.
Linhart,
Alright.
Edelgard, or Byleth. Actually, I'm not even sure if she... I don't know if
Thank
she's
you
saved if
so
she's
much.
with Byleth. I don't
That
remember.
has long been a dream of mine, and you made it a reality.
Well, we're going
I
with that.
gotta say, Ferdinand, you're full of surprises.
Yeah, I'm trying to get her ending with
It was
Hanneman.
like dancing with a pro. Perfect time.
Because it's not romantic.
Always in step.
Yeah.
All thanks to you.
No, it's just
you
him trying to save
inspired
her.
me.
Mm-hmm.
Or
She's
it
kind of like an
keeps Hanneman from
apprentice.
being with
who
anyone
inspired
else.
Me.
So there's
There's
that.
everyone Hanneman. Like, I mean,
Everyone wins.
yeah. It is a gap, but it doesn't seem like... I don't know.
I don't know. My aunt and uncle are 11 years apart, and they work fine. It's just
Yeah,
like
it depends
it
on the
really
situation.
depends on the maturity level of each individual.
Yeah. Well, and
And-
there's plenty of couples that are like that are the same age and are terrible for each other.
Yeah.
So, he's a consenting adult,
Yeah,
you know.
consenting adults is really all that matters.
and it didn't happen before time skip because that's like
Yeah.
that's when it, you know.
It's like locked behind. Like they can't be
Mhm.
romantic pretty much until
Right.
it's post. Which I think was a smart decision.
Yes.
You there.
To you there, person. What's your
My
name?
Something I
giggle
can
was
do
really
for you,
kind of
Constance?
creepy.
Is there something you can do? Of course there is.
Well, what is it?
It ought to be plain.
I do not follow. Please clarify what you mean.
Have you forgotten the day I revealed to you my silly little dream? If
Yes.
you weren't paying attention, I shall be cross.
I forgot.
Oh, yes. You must be referring to the oblique request you made concerning peaks and valleys. Not seeing a peak ahead of you, you hoped I might help lift you out of your lowly
Precisely. You've summed it up completely. Now that you know of what I said,
Damn.
I want you to forget it immediately. Act as if you heard nothing.
You want me to forget the occasion you just asked me to remember. I see. Before I discard this memory
Confusion.
entirely, might I
How
be
to
so
confuse a
bold as
bird.
to ask why?
Is it not obvious? I don't want my weakness bandied about. I vowed to restore House Nouvelle through my own grand achievement. Just as I would not abandon this dream, I would not accept it being handed to me. Though if I am to be quite honest, the real reason is that letting you in on this vulnerability was an indiscretion I won't repeat.
I see. What a curious situation.
I don't take your meaning.
5 years ago, with the cladding of my highborn status stripped away, I was vulnerable and exposed. To borrow your words, I was in a valley, and a thick shroud of fog obscured the peak before me. Now, the cloud has lifted a bit, and I can see a glimpse of what lies ahead.
And what, dare I ask, do you see?
There is a towering cliff for you to scale, and a long, rocky path lying ahead of me. Rather than ascending separately, we can join hands and face these obstacles together. Then, we can reach the heights of our forebears, or, dare I say, even higher.
Even higher, you say? Now you remind me once more of the boy I knew. I have but one concern.
And what might that be?
That I shall outpace your laggardly efforts.
Huh? I was being sincere, you know.
She just laughed at it. Okay. All right.
Alrighty then. A book.
Time to relax.
Professor Hanneman, do you have a moment to talk?
This picture of a book really makes me think about reading.
Whatever is on your mind.
I heard you were once a member of the nobility, and you surrendered your title to come here.
Indeed.
Ferd should be lucky not all of his supports end with people laughing
I'm
at
so
him.
curious about that.
Oh, Ferd.
I knew there was something noble about your speech and your perfect manners. You're always impeccably dressed, too, and you have a certain pride about you.
No, it's
What
only their C support
interests
Joker.
me is that you threw it all away. Why?
I threw nothing away, child. In fact,
Also,
by
the fact that he calls her
stepping away from
child,
its
like,
trappings,
and
in
they,
my heart, I feel
I don't like
closer than
that.
ever to the
I
true
don't like
meaning
that.
Of nobility.
How so?
I know that the support you could technically
Consider
get
this.
pre-time skip, but
At its
still, it's
inception,
like,
the concept of nobility assumed that the greatest among the populace would rise to power. In my mind, I believe that means those who value knowledge, those who strive for more and wish to protect and guide their fellow man. However, in practice, nobility often serves to keep those deemed commoners down, segregated from those who, by chance, were born to a noble family.
yeah, that's making
That
it
is one
super
of the
weird.
reasons I decided to
Yeah.
leave that nonsense behind.
Also,
and
I
dedicate
mean,
myself
even
to
if
the
you take the
study
age
of
thing
crests.
aside, I don't see
Though I
any
have abandoned my
chemistry
position,
between them.
in my
You know what I
mind,
mean?
it was to pursue
Like, it
what I
doesn't,
consider to
not
be a
romantically.
truly noble
I could see him
pursuit.
being more of a mentor
of
kind of
knowledge.
figure, or like
I
they would
see.
bond over, you know,
Well,
their
you're
just
definitely
like
a
of the
noble in that
nobility.
sense of the word.
But
To pursue such admirable ideas without regard for your social position.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
How wonderful.
Pardon?
Oh, it's nothing. I was just very moved by your words.
Ah, well, I'm quite pleased.
if there's an
to hear
age
you
gap
say
Dorothy
so.
romance I'm shipping, it's her and Manuela.
Yes. That's fine with me. Absolutely. I want both my wives with me and to
You just want a threesome, Cat.
with poly relationship, not just a threesome. I want a nice, loving relationship with them, where we take care of each other and I get to hear them sing.
Dorothea, you look as if something's terribly wrong.
I do? Oh, nothing's wrong. Not really. I've just been thinking about the future.
Yeah, I'd
And
agree,
what
Shinji.
happens
Like,
when the war is
it's the
over.
A support that's like, eh. And it just seems
And
to come
tell
out of
me,
nowhere, like the
what is your
romance
vision
part of
the
it.
future like?
Well, I'm not entirely sure. I guess I don't know what to expect. In my life, I've met all sorts of people who've lived lots of different ways.
Cat, I
So
think we
now
need
I'm
baby
trying to figure
steps
out
with
how I
Nintendo.
want to live. Unlike so many people.
No, give me
I have the
everything
ability
now.
to take control of my own fate. Like you.
Well, I quit the opera to join the Officers' Academy as a professor. Then I joined this war because, well, I don't know. I'm hoping for an end to it. Peace for the world. Even though I took control of my own fate, I still haven't found the man of my dreams.
You'll find him. He's out there somewhere. You know, there is one thing I want for the future.
So, you've got a dream after all.
Well, it's a dream I've always had. You'll think this is silly, but I'd like to stand beside you.
I don't get it.
When you left the opera company, I took your place. I stood center stage and sang, and everyone cheered for me.
And
wish the
only
cheers
a
were for
man,
me and
Nintendo.
you.
Yes.
I wish we
Nintendo
stood
said
on
that.
that stage together.
I have to tell you something. The first time I saw you on stage, I felt you were the one I wanted to hear sing. I already had plans to leave the opera company, but when I met you, I knew I couldn't leave until I saw you take your rightful place. You're right, though. It would have been nice to stand beside you on stage, even just once.
Maybe we weren't together then, but we're together here, now. And in the future, maybe it won't be so bad if you never find that man of your dreams.
What do you mean by that?
Really?
You and me.
Cat!
I won't find a guy either.
Cat could just quietly in the
Really
background.
have to spell it out
I
for
think
my
that'd be
wife.
pretty nice, don't you? Living together and doing whatever we want.
Huh.
Manuela, have you ever seen
That
a
could be
rainbow?
nice. It'd be like you and me, finally
Do you know what
together on
gay is?
stage. The lights shining down, our gowns
Tully.
and jewels sparkling. Just us.
Sparkling in the stage lights forever.
Oh yeah, Tim. It is heavily implied that there's
That no gay for
romantic.
you. No fulfilled gay.
Hey, Mystic. This is such a troll thing to Cat as well. Cat just getting trolled by Manuela through every playthrough of this game.
Fact. It's upsetting. I'm not
Ah, look at this food picture. Doesn't it make you want to eat food?
Lately, I've noticed that our lunch times seem to coincide with one another's, and
Oh no, am I bothering
I don't like
you?
this romantic
Wait,
music
I'm all
happening.
No.
You were getting
Not
too
with
carried away, Bernie.
No, not with Bernie.
I mean, it's no wonder
The
you
only
don't wanna have
murderer
lunch
that I want
me
with Bernie
anymore.
is Hubert.
Having me around probably
Yeah, that's
makes your food taste awful.
my food tastes the same as it always does. I was merely stating a fact about our lunches coinciding.
Dalton.
Oh,
But I am curious as to why you want to eat with me.
Food.jpg.
It isn't that you...
please forgive me. I'm so sorry. I've been using you to avoid people. The truth is, I don't think anyone ever comes near us. It's been such a relief.
Bernie's like, everyone's scared of him. I'm
That's
gonna,
it.
I'm gonna go hang out
Well,
with him.
then, I don't mind.
Huh? You don't?
When last we spoke, you mentioned feeling a kinship to me.
No.
So I wondered if you were thinking
No.
that we may be
Please don't be romantic.
kindred
I don't like that.
spirits of a sort.
No, please.
Oh? I mean, of course not, Yuritsa. I didn't mean anything like that at all. Kindred spirits? Us? But I mean,
She seems so
totally
uncomfortable
hypothetical
though.
here, but
Yeah.
if I did think we were kindred spirits, would there be a problem with that?
Yes, there would. The reason I dislike people is because if I don't
Bernie,
keep
this
my
is what we call a
distance,
red flag.
it is only a matter
Yup.
of time before I kill them. If you continue spending time near me, death may find its way to you.
That just sounds like a serial killer.
Oh.
Yeah. This is not quirky. This is not a quirky personality
I'm not
trait.
quite sure how to say this, but
No,
I'm willing to take the
Bernie.
risk.
No.
We're in the middle of a war. I can tell you
No,
any point now,
Bernie.
even tomorrow. So, if being near you means feeling comfortable during my final hours, well, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me.
What are you doing?
I wasn't entirely honest with you just now about the whole kindred spirits thingy. Want the real truth? I actually think we are. You and I have a whole lot in common.
Don't see
We
it.
both
Sorry,
had a
Bernie.
dark, troubling past. We both built walls around ourselves in response to that, to keep people out. Me?
That's
I
not the
tackle my
same
past
thing,
hurts out on
Bernie.
myself.
No.
But you, Yuritsa, you take yours out on the world. Maybe that's why you harm people.
Again, like this, the romantic music and the no.
That was really overstepping, wasn't it? I'm sorry!
All right.
Why?
Good questions.
Why did Yuritsa need to be anybody's romantic interest?
That is a good question.
I don't think that was necessary.
This is why I keep telling people we need to keep her underground. The church records explain in full detail what a threat she poses
I want Ash to just like lightly hit him in the
It's a
head so
miracle
that his
that no one
helmet
was hurt.
dings.
Next time, they may not be so lucky.
What makes you so certain this incident was caused by her sighing? It seems unfair to cast blame until you're truly sure.
Isn't
Aw.
it obvious? A horde
Ash
of
sticking
monsters
up for
appeared out
Happy.
of nowhere and attacked us.
Uh-oh. You guys are talking about me, aren't you?
There you are. You won't get away with this crime. I'll make sure everyone knows who was to blame.
Excuse the fuck.
Hey, you didn't answer my question.
He doesn't care what we have to say. Forget about it.
No, you told me you had nothing to do with this. I can't just leave it alone.
Yes, you can. And you don't need to worry about it.
But I do. What if they pressured you into confessing something you hadn't actually done? They mean well, but they seem to think they have good reasons to suspect you. Those suspicions could lead to forceful questioning. They'll do anything to get to the bottom of this.
You're probably right. If he has his way, they'll do whatever they can to pin it on me. What about you? There isn't some part of you that agrees with that creep?
No.
Come
I
on.
know you don't
Ash
sigh
is the
unless
purest
you
bean.
absolutely can't help
He
it.
is. I love
You
his
would
face.
never endanger people like that unless
Face
something
to face,
pushed you
is that
over
what
the
you said?
edge.
Yeah.
I know this wasn't your fault. You said as much, and I believe you.
That's sweet. But unfortunately, your conviction isn't good for much on its own. We have no proof.
Then we'll find proof. If you didn't cause it, then something else did. We just have to find out what. I'll investigate the site where we were attacked. There could be a monster nest nearby.
You're so darn trusting, Freckles. For all you know, I could be lying.
Your commitment to honesty is as strong as mine. You'd never turn your back on our common bond.
shook?
You're just like the Luna Knight.
Hey, come on. I was being serious.
Sorry, I'm not laughing at you, I promise. I guess part of me was hoping to meet one of those storybook heroes. Now I finally have.
If that's how you feel, then I'm going to live up to it. I'll do my best to make sure you never sigh again.
Pure bean.
Pure bean.
Yeah, anyway, Shinji, like, Happy is not the only person who uses monsters, or not uses them, but summons them. There are tons of people who use monsters in this game.
Yep.
Oh, great, more Yuritsa. My favorite character.
Trust too much. Allowing
Dude, I wonder what his supports with Dimitri would be. Like, can you imagine?
Because there are two sides to you, you fear that I endanger
too much
myself?
emo.
I am nothing more than a merciless killer. A demon whose only pleasure is found within death's shadow. Such a creature should not be allowed near you, dear sister.
Just what are you implying, Emil?
I have come to bid you farewell. Today, I will leave the monastery.
Clearly not, because you're in the roster.
It is only a matter of time before I hurt you. Just like I did those in House Bartels.
You can't leave. But if it must be so, then answer me this before you depart. Why did you kill your father?
Would that be her father too?
He wasn't her actual father.
Father had just discovered that you and Mother were hiding at a church in the kingdom.
They have the same mom, but different
bringing
dads, I'm
both
pretty
of you
sure.
Back home.
Gotcha.
But by then, Mother was past the age to bear children. And so, he proclaimed that he would take the only other female of the Lamine bloodline. That he would take you as his wife.
Remember how he used to be your stepdad?
Yup. Gross.
How I killed him, or what his final words were.
You did it for me. To protect me.
Regardless of reasons, a demon is a demon. I have said enough.
Hold on! That isn't fair!
Not fair?
No!
That was a
You can't
justified
just tell
murder.
me all of that and then vanish forever.
It was.
Please stay. At least until this horrible war meets its end. I want you around just a while longer.
But all that I do results in harm to others. You saw it yourself. The demon that lives within bears his fangs indiscriminately. You know all of this, and still you wish for me to remain?
Even if I am hurt, or worse yet, killed, if it is by your hand, then I will find peace.
Mercy.
I am, and will always
that's
be
not...
your big sister, Emil.
Not justified, but...
I love you, Emil. That never changes. Understand?
I understand. Then, I will remain here a while longer.
Casual, you're fine.
Until we see this war through, I will remain by your side.
Turns out nobility and crest obsession leads to some truly horrendous bullshit. I know, who would have thought?
Yeah, who would have thunk?
Yeah.
I should head back.
Finished with your training, Miss Marianne?
Jump scare.
Professor Henneman. Yes, I've just finished training for the day.
Sometimes he really seems like he's lurking.
The exercises assigned to you, yes? Nothing more?
Yes.
Or am I wrong?
Exactly that.
Yes. I'm sorry. I should have done more.
No, please. You've done as you were asked. Quite solid work, child. I simply wish to ask a question. You possess a crest, do you not?
Of course she does.
When you
Hanneman can
entered the
smell the
officer's
crests.
Your father submitted a request to the monastery, as well as a significant donation. Your father asked
He's
that your
totally
crest
hiding
not
behind the
be
pillars
conferred
of every
under
support.
any circumstances.
Fact.
At first, I thought he did not want the world to know that his daughter bore no crest. In your father's position as a newly minted noble, it would be most advantageous for his daughter to possess a crest, you see. However, I am now certain I was wrong. I believe you do, in fact, possess
You know what?
a crest
A lot of
of
these
some
supports
sort.
are just about one person butting into someone else's business.
I have been called the father of crestology, which is a bit of an ostentatious title, I admit. However, a brief period
question
of
this. I
observation
feel like this was
allows me to hazard a usually accurate guess as to
This
whether
is
a
my
body
title?
houses a
You will
crest.
now address
Yeah,
me
he
as this?
declared it.
With the
No
knowledge
one
of your
does.
father's actions
Just
and
him.
my own observations, I come
one
to
does.
you with a warning. As a crest bearer, you are guaranteed to have certain talents. It is prudent to study your crest diligently to ensure your safe mastery of these talents, whatever they may prove to be.
No, I have no
Can we support the agency of
Oh,
minding your
yes,
own business?
You do. No matter how hard you may try to hide it, my
That's why
sight
they
is
use
keen.
JPEGs. If they use any other
I
method, they
see,
might reveal Hanneman
others will
hiding in the
eventually notice as
He's
well.
hiding under the
Those
JPEGs.
who hold power must
God.
wield it in the service of their fellow
Please,
man,
no.
Miss Marianne. I believe that is true, whether you are peasant or noble. And doubly true, I would say, for those with crests. Or do you think I'm wrong? On
Jesus
principle
Christ.
alone, it is a waste to allow a rare talent to remain dormant. I would like very much to
Surprise.
advise you to aid your understanding of your crest. Will you accept my offer?
Discord, why?
No, I refuse.
Oh,
That
bye,
is
Marianne.
regrettable.
Bye.
A veritable tragedy, Miss Marianne.
Why?
Having this conversation after having taken Hanneman along to Marianne's paralogue makes it pretty funny. Yeah. Some of the C supports when you do them late in the game are just weird.
Did you want something, Professor Hanneman?
Ah, Lysithea. Thank you for coming. First, I ask that you allow me to apologize. I fear I hurt you with my insensitive words. I have failed you, not as a researcher, but as a human being.
I'm the one who should apologize. I'm
No.
sorry for being rude to you. Anyway,
No.
I'll keep going along with your research. I have to be on my way now.
Please, Lysithea, a moment more. I did not call you here simply to apologize. I told you once that you were an exquisite subject for my crest research. Why? Because there are no records of any other person ever having borne 2 crests.
Correct.
We cannot say anything for certain about the makeup of your body. Therefore, it seems hasty to conclude that overcoming your shortened lifespan is an impossible feat.
What is it you're implying?
Lysithea, what is my field of study?
Crestology,
Biology?
of course.
Indeed.
I was close.
And the goal of my field is to unravel every single mystery crests might conceal. Someday, I even hope to devise a means to bestow a crest upon any who desires one.
Why would you want to do such a thing?
I mean, you could already do
Because
that
I
if you just got
despise
enough
this
blood from
world
RHEA.
in which the presence or absence of a crest can determine a person's worth.
Huh.
However, if artificially implanting a crest causes too great a toll on the subject, it would be useless. As such, reducing the strain of crests on the human body is one of my research goals. Understanding how to implant a crest might also lead to the knowledge of how to remove them. Yes?
Do you think removing a crest could mean that they won't suffer from its effects any longer?
What I am trying to tell you is, the question of whether your lifespan can be restored is entirely within the scope of my research.
Could you really do that?
It is difficult to say for sure, but as long as the possibility exists, I will continue to seek it. Lysithea, let me ask you once more. Will you assist me in my research?
Professor Hanneman, I think I'm the one who should be asking for your help, really. Anyway, I'm sick of a crest determining a person's worth, too.
Ah, is that right? Perhaps you would even like to begin studying crestology yourself. I think you would make a fantastic apprentice. A life devoted to research is a noble life, you know.
You're asking a lot from her.
If you do manage to restore my lifespan, I'd certainly think about it.
I will hold you.
You're
to those
asking a
words.
lot, Hannah.
Ah, I see a fine future ahead of us.
All right, well, hopefully their ending happens. Save her.
Hopefully.
Hey, DBZ.
Hello.
Hopefully.
Stressed out about supports and jump scare alerts. Yay. Thanks.
All right, this is Yaritza's last support.
I must thank you, Emil.
Why?
Yaritza is the definition of resting bitch
You came
face.
to my aid in that recent skirmish. I loathe being in anyone's debt, so I brought you something as thanks. How it warms my heart to see you taking my advice about learning to work with others.
I do not recall.
You don't recall working with others? Or you don't recall coming to my aid?
My memories from battle are always a blur. The creature that you saw is me, and is not me.
That sounds perfectly meaningless. And yet, I may know exactly what you mean. That aside, this should serve to balance the scales between us. Here.
A picture of a rose.
This...
Thanks.
It's the same variety of flower you would give to me those many years ago. I found it at a florist in town. Though I suppose your memory of those days isn't as sharp as mine.
I remember this. I gave you a rose when Count Nouvelle brought you along on his visit to House Bartels. I used to tend to the roses with Mercedes and Mother in the garden.
So you do remember. The garden of House Bartels did tend to make an impression.
Mother and Mercedes were always so blissful when they spent time there.
You picked a rose and gave it to me, like the knights in the stories. Your story took a tragic turn. Time has had its way with you.
I thought the same upon seeing you.
Your sympathy is noted. Of the two of us, only I could be said to have aged gracefully.
Wow.
That is not what I meant.
Damn.
We cannot go back in time.
Fucking savage.
That was my meaning.
Do not be so hasty. Anything lost can be regained. The garden may be gone now, but that will change once I have rebuilt House Nouvelle. You'll see when you walk into the grand rose garden I shall have planted in the center of the estate. You'll come and see it, won't you, Emil? Along with Mercedes and your mother, of course.
You believe you are capable of that?
I thought
With
their
you
mother was
assisting me,
dead?
it is practically guaranteed.
Is it now?
Some will undoubtedly take forceful issue with the
I mean,
restoration.
I guess she's still alive,
That's
but
where
Mercy
you
was
come
just
in.
adopted
What a
by
privilege
somebody
I am
else.
granting you to play a part in the return of my noble house. A smile?
He's thinking about
Spreading
death,
across your
Constance.
face?
Or murder.
Now that is a rare blossom
Well,
indeed.
both.
Only
good.
when in the
Both is
company
good.
of a select few.
Although, if I had to choose, they work better than him and burning.
Fact.
Okay. Let me check. my skills real quick. Yeah, I can't get to the next level in anything.
Damn.
Yeah. You want to do one last seminar with your favorite?
Of course.
Of course.
My wife.
Sure. Oh my god, Ingrid.
I still need to improve.
So good.
How best to use this skill?
Such a good outfit.
I've got the gist of it now.
All of you are benched. So, doesn't matter.
All of you don't matter.
All of you don't matter. With a decisive battle ahead, Kit-Kat visited the cemetery.
Sorry.
Oh, yes, we're remembering Dad's final moments.
How dare?
I'm going to have to leave you now.
You know how you remember your parents'
give this ring to
death
someone
before
you
you're
love
like, I want to pick a spouse.
Oh my god.
Do you not remember this?
I didn't remember the dying part. I did remember the give this ring to someone.
Cat's re-traumatized. All right,
Yes?
so we're going with edelgard.
Yes.
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 Let's go.
Yeah, I know. Like, Mom isn't even buried there. And who knows if Dad is? Like, did we haul his body back?
It's a fucking good ass question.
Probably not. Probably not. Let me check and make sure everybody is certified. Need to find my notes.
Make sure
Yep.
them bitches be ready.
Yeah, they're ready. We're good. Okay.
Ready, chat.
Duel. Yep, we got the dragon claws. Connie, do you? Yes. Okay. You ready?
My body's as ready as it's gonna be.
All right. The Black Eagle Strike Force, in its continued pursuit of Fodlan's unification, marches on Ferdiad. Kingdom and church forces prepare to meet you at the Taltine Plains, a place laden with history. Let's go.
Let's go.
With Aryan Road behind them, the Black Eagle Strike Force marches north to Ferdiad. They plan for the Imperial Army, stationed in former Alliance territory, to take over Fraldarius land, so they are able to attack Ferdiad from 2 directions. King Dimitri anticipates the Imperial Army's strategy, leading the Kingdom Army and RHEA's Knights of Seros out of Ferdiad, and prepares to intercept the Imperial Army at the Taltine Plains.
All right, let's go.
Fucking go.
Do this. Field of Revenge.
Chapter 17.
Mother. Oddly, the rain has come to fall yet again.
Look how she's dressed.
I know, she's just like, oh, by the way,
She's ready to murder.
The one who keeps
I'm
me
the
from
saint.
seeing you again. I will be sure to return them to the earth from whence they came. The foolish descendant of Hresvelg, who bears her fangs at me, will suffer the same fate.
Lady RHEA.
Calm the fuck down.
Call me Seros now.
she's just like
I am no
giving up
longer
her
the
identity.
but rather a warrior.
Yes, Lady Seros.
Can you see this boob armor?
Because of the
I'm
rain,
ready for
we have not
battle.
yet confirmed the position of our enemy, or of the Kingdom Army.
Like, her
Search the
armor
route to
is so
Ferdiad.
bad.
It is unlikely that they have strayed far from it. When you discover the Imperial Army's main force, commence the attack. If the kingdom's army has already engaged, flank the enemy as planned.
No.
As you wish.
It's showtime.
It's cool looking, but yeah, it's not gonna do much.
Dear child. I will be paying you a visit soon.
Ah, another person who calls you
When the
child and
sword
then
has been
romances you,
plunged
maybe.
into your chest. Yes. That is the very moment I long for.
Great.
I was hoping they would strike the church first. We must have miscalculated the rate of their advance. Reorganize the formation.
Sucks for you.
We have no choice but to buy time until the church arrives. It will be a long battle. Are you afraid to do?
No. So long as I am at your side, there is nothing to fear.
Dedu deserves
I can
better.
always rely on you.
Absolutely.
Just watch, my friend. We will prevail. I will not fail to get revenge for all who have fallen.
I would follow you anywhere, Your Majesty. Good luck out there.
You as well, Dedu.
And that makes me so sad.
You as well.
Dedu.
Your Majesty. For you, I will.
A flag of blue is flapping in the rain. It must be the kingdom army.
Yes. It seems that King Dimitri is leading the troops himself. However, the Knights of Seros have yet to be seen. Perhaps they have split up.
I can't imagine that Dimitri would leave the capital to the church and face us with the kingdom army alone. He must be planning to use the church to gain the upper hand in battle. With the rain, that must be difficult to coordinate. Still, the Knights of Seros must be around here somewhere.
And we should be on alert for attacks from the side and rear as well. Inform the entire army.
Yes, sir.
Now that I think about it, the kingdom's army is quite different than it once was. They have taken a position of interception. In the past, the king would have introduced himself before beginning a fair fight.
A fair fight. The words alone remind me of how he once was. Don't you agree, Professor?
Claude?
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 Dimitri?
Yes. He often spoke of such things back at the monastery.
Well, at the present, the words fair fight do not seem to suit Dimitri anymore. He dislikes making victims of his friends. But other than that,
You should see him in his route,
he will
Hubert.
do most anything these days. If he stops at nothing to continue the onslaught, I cannot imagine what will become of the battlefield.
True. As soon as we can take our battle formation, we must advance. Dimitri, that past you cling to, I will soon free you from it.
Dimitri just said he wanted the church and empire to clash and for him to flank, so he was going to use the church as meat shields for a better chance at personal revenge. Yeah, he and RHEA are both similar in that they kind of put their, need for revenge above lives.
Yep.
So.
Yes, they do. And I'm concerned, but
All right. So. Like I said, there are ways to do this pretty quickly, but I'm not going to do that because you have not seen this yet, and you'll miss some story if I take out certain people too fast. So.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah. Okay. Constance, Dorothea, Ash, Mayor Bernie, Cynthia.
No Cornelia coup, so no eye wound.
Remember that if you if you beat Dedue before he does that thing he does in this battle, you get an alternate ending scene focusing on Dimitri and Dedue rather than Dimitri and Edelgard. Right.
Oh. Did you get Dimitri and Edelgard?
Well, on stream, when I played, I didn't know what was gonna happen, so I just kind of played it normally. But I grinded out supports. Like, I have almost everybody's supports, especially now that, I got Yuritsa's, the ones that I was missing.
Yeah.
So the only ones I'm missing are a couple of the S supports with Byleth, but back when I first played this off stream, I grinded out a bunch of those S supports, so I did this battle a lot, and basically took Dedue out as quickly as possible. So, for reasons.
Fair. I prefer my version. What's your version? Who does such things usually? Oh, right, the bad guys. Tim, stop speaking truth. Yeah, he did not lose his eye in this route.
This is the only route where he doesn't lose his eye. Dalton. That's a great headcanon.
His own crown, or his own eye in a fit of rage after Cornelia. I mean, is it wrong?
Ah, here you are, Edelgard, at your eternal resting place.
Yeah, okay.
You have trampled and stolen and blinded yourself to the truth.
Actually,
Today,
you have.
I will have vengeance for all you have done.
About that.
With this battle, the main force of the kingdom will be annihilated.
He didn't even lose his eye in this round. He still can't see.
Least of all, King Dimitri.
We are uncertain of the enemy's plans, so let us advance our troops with caution. The Knights of Seros have yet to show themselves. They will join the battle at some point. Be ready.
Sally forth!
Oh, she's got bolting now.
I'll
That's
cut
good.
a bloody path.
I do this for all of us. More fighting.
For the Empire!
They just sound so sad.
Yeah.
I'd be honored.
They've been through hell, to be fair.
Seriously,
You know?
though.
What's my strategy?
I'm gonna take Violet this way. We gotta show RHEA our new clothes. So.
Oh, yeah.
Let's make this quick.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Let's clean up.
Going for the kill.
Feels good to fight for a
Correct.
cause. Not what I was hoping for.
Apologies.
We're first in line! Charge!
Glory to the flag of the Knights! Good fortune to His Majesty!
Fortune to Fargus!
The Fogus.
That's fine.
What the? That kingdom soldier just changed into a demonic beast. Did Tallus...
That's probably fine.
No. This is something simpler.
This is the work of a crest stone. But why? I gave them crest stones from the castle vaults.
Mm.
Fool! Why did you do that?
Yeah, fool.
If we lose here, the kingdom falls. It's our only hope. You call this hope? Well, we must now claim victory so their deaths were not in vain. Yes, your majesty. I am with you.
Well, at least, like, Dimitri clearly didn't approve of that method.
KTA reinforcements have arrived.
Like,
we shall
excuse me,
crush
bitch?
the Empire weaklings.
Did I say you could do this?
Reinforcements. We're in danger.
But yeah,
We
if
must
you
defeat
took out
the
that
enemy's
guy,
generals
you could take him
before
out
we're
before he would
overwhelmed.
turn into the demonic beast.
Oh, gotcha.
So you could save yourself. Fighting one. If you did that.
Gotcha.
Thinning their numbers.
Alrighty.
Dudu, I love you,
No.
but why? Because Dudu is a devoted being.
He is a devoted being.
Witness my power.
And it just makes me so sad.
He deserves better, as I have said
Really
before.
fucking does. Oh. Kita's right emo? Just saying. Kita was right. Thank you, chat. Appreciate you. Hell yeah. It's like the rain effect. It's very good.
Yeah. One use of meteor. Definitely does make the battlefield look really bleak.
Yeah. Like this is something intense happening.
Mm-hmm.
Rain ASMR. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm going for the kill.
Jameer was not playing
Not
around.
having it.
No, she is not having it.
It's like fuck you and everything you stand for. Samir is strong. She is a strong woman.
That helps.
Can't tell me otherwise.
You lost that one.
Yeah, they did.
They sure did.
Fucking wrecked.
In the name of justice. It's my duty.
Lysithia melts enemies. Yeah, they do.
I can't lose.
Lysithia kicks all the ass.
Dang, Ash.
It was the only
Yes.
way.
Oh god. Discord, please.
I will not die yet.
Discord having a problem?
Yeah, it just like cut out for a hot moment. And I was like, oh, well.
Great.
Like, please don't do that.
Oh, that's a little scary. So is that.
1 HP in a dream, chat. 1 HP in a dream.
That's 2 with 1 HP.
2 1 HP in a dream.
That's right.
Oh my god. That's terrifying. That's fine.
Are you enjoying this stress?
Nope. As well as I can be. It's fine. This map is gonna get rough. Oh, I believe it. It's one of the last ones.
I aspire to be my best.
And the best you are. Holy crap. 1 HP, 1 dream. These bitches up. Balthus, can you dance for everyone? That'd be great, Kaylee.
I'm good now.
Yes. Balthus, go.
Dance, Balthus, dance.
Dance. He can dance if he wants to.
Feels good to fight for a cause.
Blow those kisses, Shamir.
Then they're no friends of mine.
I need to slow down.
That was beautiful, Kat. Thank you for that rendition.
You're welcome. I hope you appreciated it.
Oh, yes, always. Every day.
I had weird dreams last night because I never teamed them for HP. It's up to the HP gods. I'm not the HP god. I'll tell you that much. Come here, blow these kisses towards Kat. Hey, I'll take them. Hell yeah. I'll take all the kisses. Thank you,
Stronger
please.
than before.
Eat it.
Dreams demand risk.
Oh, it's not sunny though, Constance. Don't be sad.
I'm gonna haunt you
Rock a
if I
heel.
die. Pretty good, huh?
You're kicking butt, Bernie.
Nice work, Bernie.
The thought is what matters. Shamir, Dory, Manuela, Edie, so many kisses. All of the kisses. Every single kiss.
Okay.
Somebody's upsetty.
Yeah.
The time cannot be now. There is
No.
so much yet to accomplish. I
No.
have a
now.
House to restore.
I wonder if I can move her enough. Like further back where... Yeah. I'm just gonna move her back further.
Yeah.
There we go.
Keep her safe.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll cut a bloody path.
I'm gonna haunt you if I die.
Oh, okay. I love that line.
Still here.
I'm gonna haunt your ass.
Great.
More fighting.
I needed that.
Alright, let's try this. Oh, now he's gonna attack Hubert instead. Rude. Unnecessary. Hurtful.
What's my strategy?
Predictable.
And he didn't even flinch. Nope.
Be careful.
Nice Stone Wolf Gamer.
Hello.
Hello. Ow. It bit my lip.
For Her Majesty.
You got this, Hubert. Murder machine.
He is that.
I'll strike you down.
Done.
Winning is what matters.
Get wrecked.
All this power just to survive. Just like
Fire.
that.
Oh, how quaint.
Sally forth.
Hubert don't care as long as he gets his mission done.
Pretty much.
Dory with the kill shot. Hell yeah. That's my wife. I'm a proud wife.
I need to slow down.
Hey, axe. No, we're not marrying Dory. We married Dory in Bird and Twin. I can't remember. Golden Deer. She was my wife then.
Oh yeah.
We're doing Edelgard because I have not seen that.
Yep.
And I like her as well.
Thank you.
Also, their, like, I don't know, their relationship seems almost canon in this route. Like, just because of what happened. Yeah.
Yeah. It's magic fire nightmares. No being put out for you. Gotta get all the loot.
For the Empire.
That's right. Lots
Let's
and lots
clean
of
up.
loot. Oh, I forgot about you. How could I forget about you? Sneaky mage. Oh,
Very sneaky mage.
How could I?
look who I found.
When I finally have the opportunity to destroy the fallen.
Hey, I'm wearing your mom's clothes.
It is the lamentation
How do you like me now?
of my mother. Observe. I shall not fail in restoring balance.
No, she's crying because you're here to kill me.
I'm gonna use her shield right in front of you. Ha!
You're misinterpreting the signs, RHEA.
She is that.
I'll cut a bloody path. Bow before her majesty.
Jesus, Hubert.
F. Fucking wrecked.
Leave it to me.
I love that he and Mercy are both just on horses. They're just playing.
Yeah.
They're just like,
they're living their best lives.
We love ponies. They are living their best lives in this horrible scenario.
Hubert said, fuck that knight in particular. Yes, he did. Power move Kita. Wait, which one? Oh, wearing the dress, yeah.
It is a power move.
We're posing to assert dominance, except we're wearing our mother's clothes to assert dominance. Or her dead mother's
I cannot
clothes.
mask my boundless elegance.
I do this for all of us.
I think.
All the hearts?
So many hearts.
If Violet were to T-pose, her power level would be over 9,000, sure.
Much appreciated.
Let's make this quick.
Mercy is so regal all the time.
It is time.
Well,
no.
Your Majesty,
Breathe.
I will avenge your father.
Please don't.
You are the one true king, Dimitri.
Not worth it to do.
Are you turning into a dragon? Fuck!
To do.
And this is why I would always go
side
for to
until the
do
bitter
quickly.
As long as I
Yeah.
am with you, this lance of mine will know nothing of defeat.
No. And Dimitri's not upset about that?
Nah. He only cares about Rodrigue's death.
Don't do this.
Let's think carefully.
Well, missed.
I love that. I just imagine her dancing out the way.
Eat it.
It won't be in vain.
I am Wolverine.
Yeah. He's upset. He just decided if this is what you wanted, I will respect it. But oh, for Dimitri.
Sup? How's it going? Having a good day? Do you like my outfit? It's a question I have for you.
I think it's very fitting.
I think so. Let's make this poetic. How about the Creator's Sword?
I once walked this way
Oh, yeah.
with Ceros, the warrior, and defeated the fell king Nemesis. Now, here I stand, facing one who wields the same sword as he.
You
The
did
fate
give it to me.
You have chosen is also the same as his. To die in torment.
I don't think it's
upon
fair to
my
compare me to
sword,
him.
As the very lifeblood you have forsaken spills onto the earth.
Uh-huh.
Prepare yourself.
Damn.
How can this be?
And using the Crest of Flames. Get out of here, RHEA.
You thought you were stronger than me? Ha!
Ha!
It's your fault I'm so strong.
To that thief?
Thief?
Unacceptable.
Are you gonna
How am
drag
I
it
a
out?
thief?
Please retreat.
You gave me the sword, you gave me the heart.
Yeah.
The doll's like, what do I do?
Oh, I guess we got distracted so she could run away.
I guess. Look over there.
That's literally what just happened. Look, the doll runs.
Fight for your lives. Victory to Fargus.
All right, Dimitri.
You gave us everything, even our life. Don't act like we're a thief. Yeah. We didn't ask for this.
We really didn't, though. Dark spikes.
Into suffering.
I will. Yeah, usually I would bring Lysithea over here and take him out before he could turn into the demonic beast.
Yeah. No take backsies, Rhea. Time to kill a murder revenge hobo king.
I think this.
He doesn't seem as angry in this route, which is
He's
also very
not.
interesting.
Yeah.
He just seems misled.
He is a bit different in this route compared to his own, especially. I didn't get too close.
You're not hearing me chew, right?
No, I can't hear you eating.
Oh, thank God. It's like Discord keeps saying I'm saying stuff, and I'm like, but I'm not.
Apologies.
It only does that when I'm on call with you two, which is so weird.
Yeah, well, Discord doesn't like us talking, I guess.
Well, I mean, at least it's not. I mean, at least you're not going to.
Dang,
You guys don't
Lysithea.
need that ASMR. She fucking critted at 189.
Yep. And got a great level up. Dang.
Lysithea?
I am gonna
Never
go
nerf.
over here for now. Never nerf.
Never nerf.
Never.
Where he is maximum edgelord, yeah. In his route, it's full on jump off a slippery slope. The slippery slope, yeah. Yeah.
Time for your last dance.
Yeah, in Claude's route, it was just fucking weird. It was
Yo!
like, yo!
Dory.
That freeze frame for a second. It was just like, here's Dimitri. Oh, he died off screen. It's fine.
To do. You fool.
Yes, he is. It's just really sad.
Poor Dedu.
This is Dimitri at his best, and he's still, let's get my allies killed for personal revenge. He just doesn't go as far. Yeah. Love you, Dedu. Rest in peace.
Oh, you're still here? Why are you still here? Ray's gone.
Yeah. No, remember they said look at the doll and then left. They left.
We'd already seen the doll. We already
needed
knew
the
it
doll
was
for the
there.
distraction.
Wow.
And then the doll didn't know what else to do with its life.
The doll became confused.
Dedu, you have done us proud. God damn it.
Your death is not in vain.
Golems don't have a retreat function programmed into them. Apparently.
I'm still here. I'm getting closer to my goals.
Where I was like, why would we ever need to retreat when making them? That would be her thought process.
Overconfidence.
Yep.
I've got no time for mercy.
That's hilarious, but true.
Thanks
Doll
so
has
much.
free will now. That's even more terrifying. We can reprogram him. Shit.
Well done.
Thank you for that beautiful dance, Balthus.
I'm really
regaining confidence.
Chocolate to TJM to help with the feels. I hope it helps.
Just casually summoning the moon.
Black hole. Oh, is it the moon? Oh.
Yeah.
I've no time to idle.
What is my purpose, mother? You kill Byleth. Oh my god. I mean, that's her confidence right there.
True.
Sad noms.
Nice, Bernie.
Hell yeah.
Beautiful dodge. That doll is just back there, not sure what's going on.
No, it's just like confused, going in circles.
As you do when you're a doll, I guess.
I won't falter.
I believe in you.
Nice job.
Oh! It's done.
The doll is like, I think the fighting is this way? Her mother is good. Well, no, her mother's on our side.
No, I think they mean the doll's mother, RHEA.
Oh.
I'll return the favor.
Are you gonna dance for him too?
That's fine.
If you dance for me, I'll dance for you.
Yeah, return the favor.
Let's clean up.
The doll is trying.
It's living its best life over there.
It's probably rusting, honestly, in all the rain.
Must you continue to conquer?
Its rain's
Continue to
messing up
kill?
its sensors.
Must you continue to reconquer? Continue to kill in retaliation?
Yeah.
I will not stop. There is nothing I would not sacrifice to cut a path to Fodlan's new dawn.
Enough of this madness! This future of yours is built on a foundation of corpses and tears!
Because everything was so great
yours.
before.
Yeah, like how is yours not the same?
You can't stop.
Yep.
No, not yet. I can't die just yet.
He sort of
You
looks
literally
like
watched the dude
he's
die for your cause.
flat.
Rest in peace, King of Delusion. Dimitri, you have some nerve to lecture? Yeah, seriously though. The doll is stalling.
Of course, Lysethio's MVP.
Hell yeah, she is. She fucking wrecked.
Yeah, she did.
Edelgard, I will kill you. You will know the regret of my father, who was killed for you. Of my stepmother, who was slain by your own daughter.
Not true.
Bow your head
That's
before
not
all
true.
the lives you trampled for your ideals, before you die in misery.
Your obsession with me is appalling. If you were a
Yeah.
normal human, you would most certainly have died already. Farewell, King of Delusion. If only we were born in a time of peace, you might have lived a joyful life as a benevolent ruler.
To the fires of eternity with you, El.
Instead of finding out the truth, he decided to try and kill her, and that's where he's at.
Yep, pretty much.
Lady RHEA, King Dimitri has fallen in battle. The kingdom's army has retreated. It is impossible to preserve the front line.
Everyone withdraw immediately. Fall back to Ferdiad. The goddess is watching over us. If we hold strong, we will surely be saved.
Understood.
Retreat!
I don't know why nobody's questioning the fact that she is now Saros. Like, no one's like, she's lied to us this whole time.
And
Yeah.
wield the sword of the Creator.
She didn't steal shit.
Like that savage King Nemesis.
You can't steal a gift.
I swear.
Yeah, how did we
These
steal the heart
very
when it was
hands,
implanted in us when we were a baby and had no
I
say?
will take her back. Until then, wait for me,
I
dear
don't
mother.
think your mother gives a fuck. She became one with us, knowing we sided with Edelgard.
Yup.
RHEA. She is our enemy, but I must admit that she plays her cards magnificently.
You mean using the goddess's name in order to boost morale?
That's true.
Meanwhile, we
She
stand there
also
fully
shows great
dressed
skill
like
in devising her
Samus.
tactics.
Yep.
Using the bewildered kingdom army as a shield while she and the knights retreated. If they ran all the way back to Ferdiad, it will be very difficult to pursue them.
Next time we will end this.
Hell yeah.
Yes. Together, we'll end this once and for all. For all the lives lost in battle, by our allies and foes alike. And for Dimitri as well.
For Dimitri?
Yes, the thirst for revenge that imprisoned him was the result of my uncle's strategy. He believed that I was the cause of everything, and he lost sight of his path as king. There was nothing I could do to save him. And
Wow,
so,
what a tyrant.
the very
What a
least I
terrible
could do
person.
was-
Yeah. Are you crying? There you go.
No. The edelgard who shed tears died many years ago. Everything that's happened, it's all just part of the ebb and flow of history. The tragedy of Duscar, our days at the academy, Father's death, and the 5 years you were gone. After all of that, at long last, we're here, at this point in time. I hope you'll stay by my side until the very end. It's time for humanity to take
Hubert
this
third
world
wheeling.
back.
He's just like, I guess I'm here for this conversation.
Okay, so imagine me
Water.
playing this route and being very confused by everything between Edelgard and Dimitri because I had no context for any of that, and I was like, what is happening?
Yeah. Yeah, it seems a little unfulfilled in terms of information.
Yeah.
Dimitri in
was.
general, again.
Part 2. Crimson Flower. Great Tree Moon.
Oh, Dad needs to
the
interrupt
end
you.
of a dream.
You interrupt this program with a story?
Even Dimitri fucking in Claude's is like, hey, I'm here
After
and I'm dead off
defeating the
screen.
Kingdom Army and King Dimitri on the Tailteen Plains, Imperial forces set
Like-
their sights on Ferdiad, the kingdom capital.
He just has the most
final
random
battle
roles in
against
both routes.
RHEA draws near.
I'm pretty sure he dives off screen in the church route too. So,
F. Not important enough.
So, we have finally arrived. It has been a very, very long road.
screw you.
Why are you here, Uncle? We haven't prevailed just yet.
Even better. I decided I wanted to see the end with my own eyes.
I hate his smug
the
face.
very moment that humans will finally be free from the control of that false beast of a goddess.
Understood. Behold to your heart's content. Just don't get in our way.
Of course. I could
Weren't
not
we mad at
stand to
him?
be dragged into
We
Didn't he
are.
do something terrible?
When this fight
He
is
did.
over, A world
That's her uncle.
completely controlled by the Empire will be upon us.
I think they're just biding their time before they, like, they're trying to take care of Rhea and everything
until our reign
first before
becomes
going after
stable.
him.
Gotcha.
Uncle, no.
And those who slither in the
all
dark.
of you. I believe that your power and knowledge may be essential during that time of transition.
Perhaps so. We also will do what we must. For that short while, we will lend you our strength.
Yes, we're counting on you. For now.
Yeah, so basically they're just kind of
Professor,
using
may I
him
speak
for
with
his
you?
forces, and then, you know, then we'll get our revenge.
Yeah.
Off
What's on your
screen.
mind? Off screen.
I know the timing is less than ideal, but there's something I need to tell you. I imagine you've already sensed it, but even still, I must tell you the truth of the power you wield and of what you are.
I think I know. I have sensed it too.
I expected as much. You, like Rhea, share a bloodline with the so-called goddess. Your mother likely had some connection to the goddess, whose power has always been sleeping within you.
I mean, sort of.
5 years ago, when your power awakened, I was afraid you would choose
Because our mom
to join
had
with
the
Rhea.
heart before us. So I kind of?
Oh, she had the heart before us?
Yes.
Did Rhea put it from our mom into us?
Yes.
I missed that part. I just knew it was right. How did her mom have it? Rhea?
Because Rhea created her. She's not
Wait,
her.
like-
She didn't, like, give birth to her, but she, like, created her as a vessel for the heart in the hopes that she could get Sothis to take over the body, basically.
So we have no grandparents on this side?
I mean, Rhea kind of is grandma, which makes it weirder if you romance her. She kind of is, sort of. Yeah, so Rhea created, like, I think 12 vessels in total. Because I think they just kept dying, like they were sickly, they weren't really, like...
Surviving.
Yeah, and then Citri was the last one, and when Citri was dying after having Byleth, Citri basically begged Rhea to save Byleth by any means necessary, so Rhea took the heart from Citri, put the heart in Byleth, and then Citri
So she
obviously
killed our
died.
mom, technically.
Technically, yes. I mean, she was already dying, but yeah.
Oh, I thought we were dying. Oh, okay.
Well,
We were both dying?
Well, yeah, we were dying, but also I think Citri, like, her health wasn't very good, so I don't know if there were complications, like, from actually giving birth to Byleth or not. It's kind of murky because you're getting the story from Rhea, so it's kind of like,
Right.
you know,
How
what's true, what isn't true. So,
Oh, I know. I've seen the DLC. I just didn't recognize that's what was happening.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's kind of why Dad was like, the fuck? Because Citri died, and then the baby was kind of, like, strange, and that Byleth didn't cry or show emotion or anything because of the heart.
After Rhea touched it.
Yeah, because I think Rhea sent everybody away and just kind of did something, but they didn't really know what. So,
Gotcha.
again, it's the details are murky, but yeah, that's the gist of it.
Yeah. All right. 5 years ago.
Yes, in the sealed forest, when you returned from the eternal darkness. As you know, my goal
That's
is
why
to
she keeps
free
her in
our
the
world from the
basement.
control of Rhea and the other children of the goddess. I seek to obliterate her, as well as those around her who use the church's power to control Fodlan. I swore to free the people from Rhea by striking her down, whether or not it meant making an enemy of you. And yet, you came to my aid and chose to walk with me on the path against Rhea. I was overjoyed, of course, but I was also confused. I thought that perhaps it wasn't the path you were meant to take. But I chose to trust in you, to rely on you and your strength. And now, here we are.
I understand. Can you repeat that?
Thank you for listening, my teacher. I'm glad I finally had the chance to talk to you about it. After Rhea is gone from this world, I don't know what will become of you. But whatever happens, I hope you know that you're very special to me. You are the one person in this world who can share the heavy burden I must carry. Someone without equal, who I can always speak my mind to. It's time. Let's go, Professor.
Alpha Pine. Heavy shit.
Wait, did Geralt know that Byleth was stillborn?
The
I didn't think he
Imperial
did.
Army arrives in
Geralt?
Ferdiad, the kingdom capital, only to be
Speaking of
confronted
Dad, hi,
by
Dad.
RHEA, who has transformed into the Immaculate One.
Great.
The Black Eagle Strike Force steels itself
Oh,
for an
she's a
epic
dragon now?
battle,
Yeah.
hoping to soon return
She had to
fully
run,
to
you know,
its
she had to turn tail and run home to get more forces before doing that.
F?
So, yeah, she's just full dragon now.
This is why.
Or I guess will be. I think there's one more scene before she changes.
Fully
but-
accepts it. Fair.
RHEA, members of the Church of Seros. Surely there's
Calm
no
the
need
fuck
to
down.
continue this fight. What could be gained by shutting yourselves inside the capital of a kingdom without a king? I will give you this one chance, and no other. Throw down your weapons and surrender. Unlike you, I have no desire to unleash wicked atrocities upon this world.
Their silence speaks volumes. Shall we commence our attack?
I'll wait just a moment longer. There are still many residents within the city.
Wow, what a
Unlike my
tyrant,
attack
giving them
on
the chance to
Garrick Mach
surrender
5 years
and
ago.
evacuate the
The
people.
church will not allow the inhabitants to evacuate. What the hell are they planning?
They want to make you look like the bad
Lady
guy.
RHEA.
Get
or
ready for
rather,
this.
Lady Seros. The Imperial Army
Catherine's
is
cool with
calling
it.
for our surrender. Is it wise to ignore them? Perhaps we could leave Fodlan and devise another plan.
We shall not surrender. We must not lose. Even if it must split the heavens, we shall not yield to the wicked ones.
Understood. I will do as you command. You
It's
have my fealty no matter
fine.
what. Until my last moment of life.
I'll stay by your side too. Forever.
I forgot you existed,
Now,
Cyril.
Catherine, set fire to the city. The Imperial Army will burn in the flames of eternal torment.
What? No, you
I
can't
mean,
do
this seems
that.
rational.
Catherine, now.
As you wish.
Catherine,
there
now would
truly
be
no
a
other way?
great time for you to
Catherine
defect.
tries so hard.
Patience for
I know.
foolish questions. I shall
At least I would give her an
sacrifice
arc
as many lives
if
as
she
it
was like,
takes.
no, I'm not doing this.
Who insists on taking everything from me will be
She seems
crushed by
uncomfortable.
my own hands.
Like,
is fine.
RHEA is clearly not okay.
No, she's not okay.
Yeah.
That ghastly voice.
Your Majesty!
Also, question,
Smoke coming
why
from
did
every
she
corner
need to
of
have
the
Catherine set
It seems
the
they've
city
set
on
fire to the
fire
city.
when she's a dragon? Like, she
Why?
could
Yeah,
have...
good question.
Damn it, RHEA. There really is no depth you wouldn't sink to. Everyone, we must commence our attack at once. Are you ready?
Preparations are complete. Just say the word.
Then we attack. We'll head straight for the castle and strike down their leader, RHEA, that vile creature called the Immaculate One.
Caspar and
This is
Linhardt
the
in their
end of our
butler way.
long war. After this
Ready to
victory,
clean
Fodlan
up
will
this
finally
battle.
be united and
Yeah, they're gonna
truly
clean up the
free.
after.
Yeah.
The capital we're about to invade is engulfed in
Lynn will
flames.
love that.
Do not rush to your deaths. Survive. Prevail. Do that and we'll witness the birth of a new world. I want to see it with all of you at my side. Understood?
Of course. I will not fall and leave you without your protector. And you may live to see your dream come to fruition. For that, I shall survive and prevail.
I am carrying the future of Rigid. I will not be dying here. I will be winning. For myself and for everyone. I will be surviving.
We've been cutting our own path this whole way. There's no stopping until we reach the end. I can't die, or all my great work so far will have been wasted.
Don't worry about me, AD. I won't fall before I've found my happily ever after. Maybe when this war is over, I can finally snag a good catch
Oh,
and settle down.
the Switch is like,
Somehow
this
we're already
cutscene's too long.
Yeah.
I wonder if the peace we secure will allow me to research as much as I'd like. If so, let's end this quickly.
Edelgard, Professor,
I'll do my best for both of you. If I die here, it would be with shame and regret. Oh, I can't let that happen.
Once the world is united, I will lend my strength to both Edelgard and the Professor. To that end, I will lead us all safely to victory. My pride and duty as a noble demand no less, as do my own principles.
Let's win this together, chat.
Do it.
I'm sorry.
Imperial Army, Black Eagle
Black
Strike
Eagle.
Force, move out!
Strike Force.
Hubert definitely gives Castlevania vibes.
Yeah.
I'm fairly sure KatFTWynn's hesitance is a translation addition. In Japanese, I'm fairly sure KatFTWynn just goes along with the order instantly. Huh. I think it would have shown a lot of growth if she would have refused, you know?
Yeah. Although her face even seems unsure, though.
She doesn't want to do it, but she does in the end.
Yeah. Could it be that she was afraid of RHEA?
No, I don't think so. I think other people might have been afraid of her, and that's why they didn't speak out against her, but I don't think KatFTWynn was. I mean, I think she obviously disapproved of what happened, but I don't think she did it out of fear. Like, I don't think she carried out the order out of fear. Oh, look, it's Gilbert, everyone's favorite.
Where the fuck did he come from?
I don't. He wasn't even in the cutscene. Like,
Yeah.
even Cyril's in the cutscene.
Yeah, even Cyril's there not talking.
Yeah. He said, like, he at least had a line.
Finally get to kill Gilly this route. Gilly.
I forgot Gilbert
he was
is
here.
here. Annette and Ash would be here also if unrecruited. Well, luckily for everyone, they were recruited.
Just Ash. I would cry. I would just cry.
That would be sad.
Right? We made you kill your father, and then we had to kill you, and now I'm just sad. Ash would be blaming the Empire for everything, so I'm fairly sure the church is framing the Empire for this. That does not... That's what I was saying. Like, she's gonna set them on fire or not let them leave, so that way we look like the bad guy because we're killing them anyway.
I mean...
Instead of telling the truth, which is that we asked them to surrender and at least to evacuate everyone.
Okay, so are you ready for this map? So we got dolls upon dolls upon dolls upon dolls, and Ray's over there. And of course, Cyril is right there.
I thought he was a dragon for a second.
No,
I was like, how?
he became a baby dragon. No.
Babu dragon.
And then we got KatFTWynn over here, and Bad Dad over here. So normally what I would do is just skip this completely and just go this way. Like, take everybody over here, go up this way and around, up to RHEA. But, I mean, then you won't get to see KatFTWynn die. So...
Does KatFTWynn live if you were to skip that?
I guess. I mean...
At last, we made it to Ferdiad. But
I didn't kill her.
It's in a
when I do this quickly, she lives, so...
We finally stand before the palace. These flames will kill our friends and foes alike.
We're gonna take the scenic route.
Those who stand in our way will perish with the flames. Immaculate One, your reign ends here and now.
With fire raging all over the city, our enemies won't be able to advance in large numbers. Instead, they may try to defeat us with small squads of elite warriors.
Indeed. I suspect as much. And at their head is the one who stole my mother from me, and likely that mutinous whelp Edelgard.
Okay, RHEA.
The whole city's burning. Oh, this isn't good. I'm flammable, you know?
I mean, we're all flammable.
We must be
Bernie.
avoiding the flame and be careful of strong enemies.
If we want to minimize our losses, we will need to be flexible in our approach. I'll cut a bloody path.
Problem is, we have to be careful because everything's on fire. Thanks, RHEA.
Yep. All
Appreciate that.
Understood.
It's great.
Let's clean up.
Also, I'm wearing a sexy version of your mom's outfit. Hell yeah. Kita's so damn good at this game, she knows the speed routes. Hell yeah.
It's been a while since I've done this map, to be fair, but when I was grinding supports, I could do this really quickly.
Nice. What if you kill Gilbert with a net? I just figured it's probably sad.
We can't because she was benched this route, so she would not survive.
I'd be honored.
F. This is fine.
Ooh, nice, Ash. It is. It really is.
I will prevail.
With all of my might!
Nice, Petra.
Fuck yeah. Hell yeah. That's my girl?
Hardly worth the effort.
I'm pretty sure it's in the BTTV menu.
Dang, you were.
For Her Majesty.
Hell yeah, almost every single time. Jesus. My heart.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Discord?
Are you enjoying the jump scares?
Yeah, as I do.
You can stay there, Balthus.
Yeah, special dialogue, I would assume. What? If this was Fates, I'd be more interested in watching Fates.
More
I just
fighting.
love the story and the cutscenes and stuff of this.
Let's make this quick. You lost that one.
Get wrecked.
For the Empire! I do not tolerate
They cut her off.
I do this for all of us.
Super intense. I will say,
What's my
the one thing I
strategy?
do miss that is not going to be in this run. Dubstep.
I know. You don't get the dubstep music in this route. It's a bummer.
Another victory.
That should be in every route.
Truly. Missed opportunity.
It really is.
Winning is what matters. Feels like fighting is all there is.
Soon it'll be over.
Dude.
soon.
Sally forth!
And it really should be like them going to finish off Dubstep Boys would make this so much sense. I know!
Yeah, it is weird that that's not in this route.
How dare. It's like a retry.
Thinning their numbers.
No, I don't want to attack that. No. No.
Get fucked. In the route that's the most fitting. Agreed. Just, yeah. Epilogue map set like a year after with Hubert, Yuritsa, and Byleth, with some limitations on Byleth's powers would have been real neat. Yeah. I agree.
We're gonna make our way this way. Hello, Archer. I see you over there.
He's just hanging out.
Trying to murder my flyers.
Yep.
Will this ever end?
Done.
Hell yeah. The music.
It's RHEA.
It is. She's singing as Dragon.
Another peerless victory.
I'm impressed.
It's her dragon song.
Yeah. It would have been fun to have at least one map without actually Divine Pulse to shake things up. I mean, you don't use it that often.
No. I mean, the thing about Divine Pulse is, like, it's there if you want to use it. It's sort of like experience share in Pokemon. A lot of people don't like that experience share exists because they feel it makes it too easy, but you can turn it off.
Right.
Like, you can't turn off Divine Pulse, but you could just elect not to use it and make a challenge for yourself. Good night, Stonewolf Gamer.
Open your hearts and accept your fate.
No, shut up, RHEA.
The immaculate roar saves only the righteous.
Okay.
Okay, honey.
Roar.
Big mad.
The doll's movement seems stronger after that roar.
Whenever the Immaculate One howls, those dolls become stronger.
Doesn't boost her human allies almost as if RHEA has a problem with humanity in general, you think? Ha! It's almost. Oh. Oh, yo.
You're in the way.
Breckham.
It's done.
Hell yeah, Lysithia.
I aspire to be my best.
Hell yeah, you
This wouldn't have happened in my youth.
Hanneman, I've seen you appear out of nowhere. You run pretty fast. So I don't want to hear those excuses from you.
Fact. I'm a dragon,
my
hear
strategy?
me roar, goofy scream. Oh my god. That'll just make my night.
More fighting.
Yes. Unfortunately.
Oh, they're all going after Bernie now? You fucks.
Leave Birdie alone. It's upset. I hate those golems with all my soul, especially since BE is a mage heavy house.
Black Eagles.
Black Eagles, gotcha.
I will
Definitely not
Yeah,
the
they're
best
a
decision.
serious pain in the butt.
Yeah.
I'll cut a bloody path.
Understood.
Understood.
Oh, yeah.
He's so excited to be here, Yuritsa.
He's always so excited.
Squirm for me.
Didn't hear squirm at first.
So-
Heard squirrel.
Squirrel for me.
Yeah.
You know how sometimes you just are a squirrel?
Let's clean up.
Yeah. Makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
Missed.
Get fucked. There's a nuts joke in there somewhere.
Bernie, you're gonna have to dodge a lot, girl.
Dismounting makes it a little easier, but removes the main advantage of cavalry.
Petra casually doing an aerial out of the way.
Nice dodge. Also crit.
Pretty good, huh?
Yes. Bernie.
GG, Bernie.
Only the
We're
strong
giving no
survive.
craps tonight. Nope.
A little
Yo.
scratch won't stop me.
Heck yes.
It's win or die.
Nice work.
That was Excalibur. Nice job, Bernie. Yeah. Bernie's a menace and I love her.
She really is. She is in pretty much every route. She's always been one of my best units. Sit down, doll.
Hell yeah.
I'm getting closer to my goals.
Hashtag goals.
Okay, let's get out of the fiery pits of hell.
No, dance right now.
All right, now we have this friend. I'll just punch it. That always does the trick.
Where it's weak.
That's right. Go for the knees.
Sally forth.
Also where we're good at reaching.
Yep.
For the Empire.
Lockpick boy on a rampage. I'll try punching. That's a good trick. It's always a good trick.
It usually works pretty well, I have found.
Yeah, kick its ass. Best you can.
Let's make this quick.
Lysithea making them very slow.
Yo.
I do this for all of us.
Done.
Bernie's unstoppable.
Hell yeah.
Bernie is unstoppable.
Bernie's OP, never nerf.
Bernie discovered affirmations.
Yep. Love it.
Great.
I'm getting the hang of it.
Nice story. Lysithea's on fire. Lysithea, you throw so many fireballs, you should be impervious.
Yeah, seriously.
You have
though.
fire coming out of your hands, girl.
That.
Thanks so much.
All the healing.
More
All the
fire.
healing. Missed.
Only thorns left on this rose.
Lysithea, you gotta catch up.
Move that butt.
Move that butt. Oh, we are almost at KatFTWynn.
Almost there.
Thank you for providing the music.
Shit.
It did sound like he said shit.
Shit.
I'm like, shit, it's hot.
He was just reminded.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait. KatFTWynn, how you feel about your life choices right now?
Good question. I'm curious about our answer.
Something something, Lady RHEA, something something.
Oh no, they're stronger.
Nah, we're gonna avoid some of them, so I'm not super worried.
That's fair.
I was trusted to protect the future of the nation, the royal bloodline itself. I cannot yield. I will fulfill my duty, even if I must forfeit my life. Majesty, I beg forgiveness. My promise to you.
Yes. Quiet. Did I take a detour to murder Gilbert? Yes. Could I have avoided this? Yes.
So good. Nice fight, dumbass, yeah. Deadbeat grandpa, everyone but him, yeah.
Hey, Fenrir. Going out of your way to kill Gilbert is a respectable move.
Yep.
Thanks.
Bad dad's gone. Heck yes. Path has unique lines with Violet and Shamir.
Okay.
In the name of justice.
I was wondering if she would have some with Ash, but I guess not. Missed opportunity, really.
Seriously, though.
Excuse you? What is this range?
How dare?
Yeah.
That could have been interesting.
Could have been.
Hello, Catherine. I always knew this day would come. What a coincidence. So did I. It seems that now we have no choice. We have nothing in common. Not our backgrounds, not our beliefs. Not the way we lived. Or the way we'll die.
Damn.
Going for the kill.
Jeez, Shamir.
F.
Lady
Yeet.
RHEA, my service ends here. It's been an honor.
This was your choice.
This was your choice.
This is a good game to beat. It is.
Yo, I stole her sword.
Hell yeah.
Power move.
That is a power move.
I'm gonna keep it in my inventory.
Die, Catherine.
I live.
Oh, we kind of... We're not fans of Catherine. I mean, I don't hate Catherine. I hate her her
devotion to RHEA.
Yes, thank you. I hate her devotion to RHEA. Endless devotion. Like, no matter, even though she thought what RHEA was doing is wrong, she still was like, alright, I guess I set everything on fire.
It's cool.
Also, she's wearing diapers.
Don't forget. Never forget.
Weird how long the camera stares at dead bodies sometimes. Yeah, it's like, just so you know.
Hey,
dead.
if you didn't know, they're dead.
If you missed it. Damn good thing she was wearing an adult diaper. God damn it.
Okay, well, everyone's sort
I
of
mean, to
stuck
be
here.
fair though, we do rag on a lot of characters in this game, but we still love the game. And sometimes don't mind the people, even though we give them a hard time. I don't know. I get having her as a unit, but I don't know. It's hard for me to ignore someone making really bad decisions in the name of devotion to someone. Like, I love to do, but to do, honey.
Yeah, Dedu
You
deserves
gotta
better.
not. Yeah, he deserves better. He deserves to be written better.
He also has more of a reason to be devoted to Dimitri, in my opinion.
That's fair. I don't know the history as much.
No.
We don't hate Catherine. We hate Rhea for taking Catherine from us. I mean, yeah. I would have been attracted to Catherine if it weren't for her devotion towards Rhea.
Yeah.
'Cause I was like, oh, she hot. And Kita's like, she loves Rhea. And I was like, no!
I was just about to say, the first time we played this game, you were like, oh, and I was like, no, you're not gonna like her.
I upset Tali by screaming. I'm sorry. She's like, are you okay? Catherine is a great unit, amazing character, but terrible person. Yeah.
I mean,
a beast. Well, now he's a dead beast.
he is very dead, unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
Going for the kill.
Holly's like, now that I'm awake, I might
Stay
as well go lay by the toy.
Oh, Tali.
Love her writing, but I can admit that she knew, or she would be at each other's throats one day. For
Even Seth knew when to dip because of Rhea's shenanigans.
Yeah.
Yeah, even Seth was like,
Remain cautious.
I treasure my daughter and I's life. Okay, bye. He lived like he died, sucking up to an insane man-child. I know. Sad about it, though. So sad about it.
oh, hello.
Surprise. Yuritsa's one of your favorite Crimson Flower units. I don't know, how's Yuritsa been for you?
Yuritsa's a good unit. He's just, I don't really like him as a person.
He's just a little off.
But he's very strong.
I have a hard time with him with Violet.
Yeah.
Again, if you know anything about Stormblood from Final Fantasy XIV, it's Xenos with main character, and I have a hard time with that mentality. But in Yuritsa's case, he's a friend and ally, which makes it even worse. I'm gonna fight you and I'm gonna win, and also I'm gonna be really fucking weird about it. Spoilers. You're welcome. It's obvious. It's fine. I don't know this shit yet, Kat. You're fine. It's not a plot twist.
I'm a little concerned for Hubert back there. We're gonna
You
cross
meet
our
Xenos,
fingers.
you know he's not a good guy. I would not tell you any plot twists.
I'll strike you down. Let's keep up the pace.
Sounds like he's
I
always
must
yawning in
outwit
English
even
dub, and that bothers me more than anything than any of his writing. Fair.
One step closer to victory.
He does sound super bored in every conversation.
Pretty good, huh?
Only the strong survive.
What, Wolf Prince? Maxed out Death Knight and Fire Emblem Heroes. I mean, legit. Death Knight's voice in Heroes is a lot more demonic sounding than in this game. Well, when he's actually Death Knight, he sounds more sinister. But when he's Yuritsa, it's just Yuritsa.
Just Yuritsa.
Just Yuritsa.
Winning is what matters. I'm growing, but at what cost?
Too weak.
Nice work, Balthus.
He has the trademark a Garthan armor voice filter when a Death Knight mode. Same with Edelgard's Flamelancer armor. Yeah. Yuritsa is one of the more tragic characters in my opinion. I don't really know his... I mean, we like know his backstory, but I know him protecting Mercy now.
A lot of
And killing his
characters
own
have
father.
pretty rough backstories in this
I was
game.
gonna say, but we've made a lot of them kill their own fathers, so that's nothing.
Sweet of you.
Everybody killed their father in this game.
Yep. Kita made everyone kill their father. It's fine. Except for Annette, because she was benched.
Yeah.
I don't mind Yuritsa much as long as he stays away from Bernie. Please stay away from Bernie. And stay away from Byleth. Both.
Yeah, that's true, Joker.
Yep. Felix didn't get to
Cynthia.
kill his father, if I recall. Did he not? I don't remember.
It might have been someone else.
They're fine. It's all fine. Pizza Xenos. I'm telling you! Same arc. Not arc.
Wow.
Same personality.
That was not worth it.
They don't have the same arc. Very different backstories. But same need and drive. It's weird. Except again, it's weird that Yuritsa's our friend and is like, but I want to fight you. And
I
it's like,
will
but,
prevail.
but you're our ally. But,
My
just
heart
know that you have a
burns
fan
with
of me,
pride.
Cyril, but Rhea needs to go. Like, I wouldn't mind Cyril if not every word that came out of his mouth was Rhea. Every. I think we found one support where he doesn't talk about Rhea. One. What?
I need to bring Shamir back to help Hubert. I was just thinking.
Feels good to fight for a cause.
Hasn't like everyone in this game except one or two had crappy life? Yeah. This whole cast needs therapy. Absolutely.
Majesty.
Is that an elixir?
Hate Cyril more
Do
than
you think I'd
Catherine.
let you go?
Yeah, but Cyril was a child who got kind of brainwashed by
Yeah.
Rhea. Whereas Catherine was a grown-ass adult.
Yeah. Don't like
What
that.
it is, that's the problem. What, Tim?
Also, again, it's a missed opportunity for an arc for either one of them to be like, hey,
Maybe this is wrong.
maybe. Just a maybe.
Cyril for having an ending with Lysithea on my playthrough. Alright, fair. I will stay mad about that till my grave. I don't blame you. High stargazing, by the way. That everything he talks about is Rhea. Yeah, that is the problem. That's why I have a hard time with his character, because they didn't really give him a personality. They just made him obsessed with Rhea. Which again, brainwashed, but God, give him something else. Fire Emblem Heroes, even though it's not a lot of people's cup of tea, I actually
Still
love it.
here.
I know a few people that like Heroes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think there's some people in the Discord who play a bit of Heroes.
Raphael is the only emotionally healthy person here. That or he's very good at hiding. or like bottling up.
He has kind of just like that optimistic.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's very resilient, I think.
Yeah, like he's just like, is it Ignatz? Who is he that he's like, oh, you're fine, and the person keeps trying to apologize to him, and he's like,
Ignatz,
stop it, you're
yeah.
fine. Stay vigilant.
Yeah.
Like that, he's either trying to like just not think about it, or he just genuinely is very good at accepting reality and knowing when to move on, which is very mature of him. Also, he likes food, and you know, I'm fine with that.
Also, he likes food.
He just needs a shirt that fits.
That is his one problem.
And not put onto a butler suit that fits because they made the model not his body.
Appreciate it.
Because it looks weird and he has a big head. Not over it.
I am nearing my limit.
Lorenzo's dad could be slightly held to account. I'm gonna stop it, Discord. No. Baron. No. He's like, but I see a food bowl. Big knots. The most punchable artist ever.
Yeah.
Raph is slightly too forgiving towards the murder of his parents, but it's not that he's forgiving. It's that he's forgiving of the son who had nothing to do with it. He recognizes that ignores.
That is the best of your mispronunciation. Oh my god.
Ignores.
My favorite. Ignores.
God damn it. Oh my god.
So good.
I'm crying. God damn it.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Anyway, he recognizes that Ignatz had no role in that. It wasn't Ignatz's fault at all. Ignores Ika. Oh my god.
I will never forget that.
I almost just painted my screen and keyboard in beer, Tim. You're welcome. I gotta wipe my face. This is fun. So many tears.
No, go away, doll. No one likes you.
Same Tim, but T. Sorry, Ika.
Thanks so much.
Oh my god.
I see that the years have not cured humanity of its folly.
Sup, RHEA?
Still wish to hurt and betray my mother and myself.
Except she's supporting.
Yeah, we even have her outfit. She was nice enough to share her clothes.
Both would suck for a minute, it's true. What is this ignore?
Here's an idea.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna let this down, it's fine.
We're probably gonna lose Ash, I'm just letting you know, so you can mentally prepare. No! It's fine. No! He'll just, you know, go to a farm upstate. Right?
Oh my god. Okay, parent who can't teach me about death.
I mean, I've always been that person for you. You've just never known until now.
Oh my god.
I'm just gonna get you out of the way.
A little scratch won't
Sorry
stop
to tell
me.
you your mother hated you, yeah. Hey RHEA, do you like your mom's dress? I added a butt crack window. I don't know. Ah, Baron! Oh, you fuck got some. She personally dyed Violet's hair in her color, yeah. You solely are responsible for this, RHEA says, over the city she set on fire in a murderous temper tantrum. Yeah.
I needed that.
You set the city on fire. LOL, blame Catherine. That's why she had Catherine do it.
Yeah, it all makes sense now.
Oh my god. On brand for RHEA, not gonna lie.
Yeah, so she can just be like, well, I didn't do it.
Let's clean up.
Wasn't me. Get out of here.
Thinning their numbers. Strength is all for a mercenary. I'm good now.
We finally got here. She has lived too long. She needs to go down. RHEA's a lizard.
I need to slow down.
It's a lizard. Truer words have never been spoken.
I am unafraid.
Sure. RHEA gonna be at the press conference going, look, Catherine was always a nut job. I had nothing to do with this. Yeah.
100%.
Oh yeah. Catherine still does work.
F.
There goes
RHEA,
Cyril.
Thank you for everything.
And she still won't care that you died. Because
Nope.
she doesn't care if anyone dies.
Nope. Not even a reaction.
Nope.
Nothing.
RHEA
Wow.
the bearded dragon, yeah. Who was relevant enough to have 2 weapons usable? Zero fucks. Yeah, she has 0 fucks.
Stay vigilant.
Infant has been destroyed.
Remain cautious.
Mission complete. And how? We'll have more of a reaction if one of the golems dies than Cyril. Seriously though.
You're
His death is
not
one of the worst.
wrong.
Yeah, his death is one of the worst because he died for someone who didn't care about him. Yeah.
Not really.
Well, again, he was brainwashed.
Yeah, I just mean like she really didn't, aside from using him.
Oh yeah, no. She didn't give a fuck about him. She didn't give a fuck about Flan and Sedith almost dying and having
Nope.
to run away.
She was
You've
just
abandoned
angry.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, bitch.
And which is especially sad considering they're her only living family aside from, you know, Indek, who's chilling as a turtle, and Macule, who is also chilling. Like, they can't really turn back into humans anymore, and they don't really want anything to do with her, so.
Yeah. Even Dimitri was like, no, Dadu, I know. Wilhelm? Wait, what? Fairly sure the golems are all named, like, one's called Wilhelm, so probably, yeah. One's called
Here's
Wilhelm?
Luca.
Does it have the Wilhelm screen?
I think it's named after Edelgard's ancestor. Oh, hello. You got spared down here?
One of Elle's ancestors is called Wilhelm? Gotcha.
Yeah. It's like it's kind of implied that maybe RHEA and Wilhelm had something, but it's not confirmed.
Gotcha. He was RHEA's main ally back when Nemesis was around.
Going for the kill.
Nice.
Bye.
Feels good to fight for a cause.
I like to think she
As
stole
I
his corpse and
expected.
put it in the Evangelion. What is this, Evangelion? Congratulations. That's them in the corner. Thanks. That's them in the spotlight. Losing their religion. Oh, that was too accurate. I hated that.
What?
When Wildcat said that's them in the corner, it reminded me of a song that says, that was your intention with that? Yeah. The song goes, that's them in the corner, that's them in the spotlight losing their losing my religion. And it's called Losing My Religion, I think. But yeah, it's just on point because maybe he is in the corner because he's losing his religion because of RHEA.
I mean?
Yeah. You're welcome, Wildcat. Cat DMCA, I know. Dead Ringer DMCA. I understood that reference. Yeah.
Go, Connie.
Sure, they had something and named him Cyril. Cyril is her actual child. That would be so much worse. Just like with how she treats him. Rem losing my religion. Killed RHEA's final showdown. Get in the Eva series. Oh my god. My references are nuanced. I liked it. I appreciated it. I'm surprised I caught it, but I'll take it. Constance given no craps. Hell no. To no one's surprise, RHEA has lines with Edelgard and Byleth.
Yep.
I will prevail.
I'm also really impressed.
I'll cut a bloody path.
You know who she has no lines for? Her mom.
More like Sothis has no lines for her.
I mean that too. That boy that just died, what was his name?
Tremble before me.
Rawr.
War. That healed Edelgard?
I'm not sure what that did.
It did a +5 that was or it did a 5 that was green.
Well.
Did Edelgard go? Yes, she's roaring.
I don't know.
Been inspired.
Maybe.
About to finish her Crimson Flower playthrough, all that progress, and I'm still in chapter 1 of Maddening Run. Fair. The pain of Maddening mode still hasn't healed. That's fair.
Go, Connie.
Oh, that was Dory's personal skill. Adjacent allies recover some health. Oh.
Oh, there we go. Well, the timing was hilarious.
Go, Brinny, go. I've faced many dragons in video games, and on the scary scale, pun intended, she is pretty low. To be fair.
Give her back. Give back my mother.
No.
Now that's not the way to get what you want, RHEA.
Right?
You can't just turn into a dragon and scream at me every time you don't get your way.
Rip Carl, you will be missed. RHEA, probably.
Carl!
RHEA's a pretty scary lizard. She talks, see? Scary. So scary.
Much needed.
You gave Byleth your mother. Yeah. I don't understand. Again, you can't steal a gift.
Or can you?
Or can you?
Your life ends. Child's.
So fun fact, random. It just reminds me of like gift giving.
Yeah.
If you propose to someone on their birthday or a holiday, like Christmas, it is seen, it can be argued that it's a gift, so that if they actually break up with you, or if you you break off the engagement, they get to keep the ring in like legal matters because it's theirs and it was a gift. You can't argue to have it back because of how much money it was or whatever. Yeah, so if you are afraid, well, hopefully you're not afraid of them breaking off the engagement, but they don't.
Yeah, if you're afraid of that, maybe don't.
Maybe you shouldn't get engaged.
Yeah, maybe don't.
But if for some reason you are and decide to go through it anyway, don't do it on a special holiday. If you for some reason might want that ring back to give back and get money for.
And
Oh my gosh, Eco. Yankee swap.
I make the laws guys say you can steal a gift. That's probably how RHEA does it.
How about a mint?
Oh Jesus.
She'll get over it.
To be safe, just don't get engaged, Tim.
Oh, Tim.
God damn it, Tim. I'm clearly not listening to you. I'm already a divorcee.
Carefully.
I already have engagement plans. It's too late for me. That was my favorite Christmas episodes of anything. What? Oh, what Eco quoted?
Honor.
Yeah, it's a reference to The Office, one of the Christmas specials, where Michael's being a child, as he always is. And he doesn't like his gift, so he wants to do Yankee swap, basically, to get a better gift.
Rude?
Yeah. He's a brat.
You never get engaged, you can't lose an engagement. God damn, Eco.
So it's true.
Honestly,
you don't value human life at all. Isn't that right, Immaculate One?
Nonsense.
That is correct.
Those who do not accept their own sins are undeserving of salvation.
What about this town you just set on fire?
Yeah, what about them?
You betrayed me, and you betrayed my mother.
How did I betray your mother?
Her. I never believed in you from the beginning.
Damn.
Yeah.
Have the moon.
Me too, Kat. Wait for which thing? I can't remember. God damn it.
Wow.
Honestly speaking, personally, if an engagement fell through, I wouldn't want the ring back anyway. Yeah, it's just some people spend a lot of money on engagement rings.
Also, some people, I think, just want to be difficult in a breakup, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that too. And petty. Depending.
Yeah.
But yeah. Or some people, yeah, are just really upset that like, oh, you're gonna keep this ring and you're gonna sell it and get money when you're the one that broke up with me and I spent like what, 20 grand on it, whatever the fuck. Because some people spend insane amounts of money on rings.
I don't think I would accept a ring that was that expensive because that would bother me. You spent too much on this.
It would freak me out.
Yeah, I'd be terrified to wear it.
That. Because first week of having my wedding ring, I chipped the topaz and like the corner of the topaz because it was a princess cut, and I got a nick in the gold. I was like, you know what?
Mine gave me hives, so.
Oh, because jewelry is not your friend.
No, because I have baby sensitive skin, and the white gold plating on the bottom, I guess, wasn't great, and wore enough that it touched my skin and I had horrible hives.
Oh no.
On my finger. So.
End of the line. I had engagement plans once, dodged that bullet. I mean, fair. I remember the episode where Michael set the city on fire and screamed like a banshee at everyone.
You had this conversation in 2018? Because I just heard this conversation this week. What were you rewatching, Great Destroyer? Yes, I do have a titanium band now, which is hypoallergenic, so yeah.
Yeah,
And
Kita's probably told me before, but I have the memory of a goldfish.
Yeah, it really sucked because I really did like my first wedding ring. It was very nice and went with my engagement ring. But yeah, that happened, so I couldn't wear it. So Ika got me a different one, and that one's really great, and it has a quote engraved in it from Mass Effect, so...
Nice.
Oh, bye, RHEA.
Oh, bye. My ring off is $100 or less, otherwise no deal. We're over. My ring offer, fair. Both friends. Stardew? That doesn't surprise me. We did get wedded.
We did. Oh. Yay. I love the scene.
Yo, cutscene. Please, Discord, hold it together.
When humanity stands strong and people reach out for each other, there's no need for gods. RHEA, your reign of tyranny is over.
The unhinging is creepy.
The time has come. I'm ending this once and for all.
That side by side was so good.
Right?
Is it over?
Your tears gonna bring us to life? Do we die? Is that the crest of flames in my heart?
Yes.
And it shattered?
Mm-hmm.
The crest of flames was not good for us? How did she hear it? How did she know?
Cause her whoop, there goes the controller.
Oh,
Cause Byla's heart started beating.
yeah, it's just I'm surprised she could hear it from there.
I think
Or,
she
like,
felt
knew.
it.
Gotcha.
Cause the crest of flames kept Byla's heart from beating when she was like her whole life. So,
Oh, so
because
her heart
it,
hasn't been beating this whole time?
no, that's why Geralt was like, what the fuck?
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when the crest of
Edelgard,
flames,
so she thought she died, not knowing that she was just like that.
yeah. So and she had no pulse. So when the crest stone was broken, or the crest of flames was broken, her heart started beating normally.
Yeah. Also, Iko, you do not sound like a cheapo.
A rising flame was alight as the flow of time carved a new history for Fodlan. With the fall of Ferdiad, the Holy Kingdom of Fargus and the Church of Seros both vanished into the people's memories. Fodlan was finally one unified nation, under the rule of Emperor Edelgard and the Adrestian Empire.
Being a sneaky bitch.
I know.
Embracing her newfound power, Edelgard could at last set about destroying Fodlan's entrenched system of nobility and rebuild a world free from the tyranny of crests and status. Yet, beneath the surface, an unseen and silent struggle began to take shape. From her seat of power, Edelgard could at last wage war on those who slither in the dark.
But we'll never get to play that.
Does she see it? Yeah.
They could have even done a DLC. I don't understand. Hubert is medieval hot topic.
Yeah.
The children of the goddess have been defeated at last.
Well.
The shape of the world will be forever changed. Humanity is free now. The world is ours once again. Can you believe it?
Would we realize if we could do it in an epilogue? I'm not sure.
I see. Well, one thing is certain. The fate of this world depends on the choices we make. It's possible that people would have been happier continuing to mindlessly obey the goddess. Our work is far from over, and we can't ignore the possibility that our enemies will resurface one day. I don't know what the future holds, but come what may, will you stay by my side? You chose to protect me at the Holy Tomb. Will you choose me again? What I'm trying to say is, I need you.
Please accept this gift.
Cat's gonna cry. Okay, so you can't see it because of the outfit, but our hair went back to blue.
Yeah.
After that happened. So, and this is the only route where that happens. Fun fact.
Oh.
Yep.
It's almost like this set things right.
You called me.
It's almost like this is the canon route.
Yeah.
That means more than I can say. And this ring, it's lovely. Thank you, my dearest friend. I will happily accept it. I must admit, I feared my feelings would be unrequited. So long as I had you by my side, it never mattered how many enemies I amassed. You were all I needed. All this time, I longed to share my feelings with you, and it seems you wished for the same. Now, our wishes have come true. This feeling, it's overwhelming.
Wait, friend, give me the ring back. I promise to always be there for you.
I promise the same. Together we can achieve anything. We will crush those who slither in the dark and restore peace and order to Fodlan. I will then find a suitable successor and hand over the reins of the Empire. When all that is done, it will be just the two of us. I look forward to starting our life together in the light of a glorious new dawn.
Aww. Let's make it happen.
Yes, that is all we can do for now. We must remain focused on our goals. To think that I may truly call you my partner and equal now. The solitary reign of Edelgard has come to an end.
Her eyes are huge in this art.
We walk this path together. With time and care, the darkness shrouding this world will be lifted. You and I will become the light that shines over Fodlan, just as you have shined upon my life.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the ending art. No offense.
It's just jarring
like
because of her.
It's so different. But the art style is so different from the rest of the game that not even just hers, but anybody's S support art is kind of like weird.
Yeah. MVPs. Yo.
Kita's my dearest friend.
Hi, Tally. Thank you. Thank you for the butt in the face. Oh, okay, thank you. All the support art is seemingly done by someone else. Yeah.
Dang, Shamir was MVP a lot.
Yeah,
so was
and
Byleth. I mean, that's not surprising.
Yeah.
Oh, there's one for Ash.
Also, when you have male and female art, they show them together, but they don't have the guts apparently for female.
I think it depends on the support. Or yeah, it depends on the character.
The romantic one they should have shown together.
Because Hubert's is just him. Like, it's not the two of you together. So.
They got different artists for the epilogue portraits, and it's so apparent, yeah. The only S support art that looked normal was Linhart's, and that upsets me.
Yeah, Linhart's wasn't bad.
Manuela's great. Yes, Manuela is great. She should be with Fembylith. Most valuable professor. We have some pretty well-rounded beans, though.
Yeah. In the beginning, it was kind of the same few, but then towards the end, it was a lot of different people.
My wife?
There she is.
Both wives? Most vital people. Hubert S. support, he legit looks like a vampire, though.
He does. That's true.
Is it a problem? Nintendo, no. Manuela hetero only. I know.
I'm telling you, we're going to finish this, and then Nintendo's going to be like, hey, guess what? DLC update.
More people to romance, and it includes Manuela. You don't even need to change the dialogue outside of it.
Alright. Anna's business savvy proved to be a great asset in the post-war reconstruction of Garreg Mach. Once the restoration was complete, she disappeared from the area entirely. Though tales of a mysterious merchant were passed down in every corner of the world for centuries to come, some say she continues her travels, even to this day, eternally peddling her wares and ever in search of the next lucrative opportunity. Once the long war against those who slither in the dark came to an end, Alois and his family moved to Ramire village and lived happily as farmers. It is said that from the moment he put down his sword and picked up a hoe, he never so much as thought about turning back. I mean, you know, when you pick up a hoe, it's hard to go back.
Go back.
I'm just saying, we've never seen his wife and child. I still don't believe they exist.
Yeah, they don't.
Leonie joined up with the mercenaries formerly led by Geralt. What a shocker. As his greatest apprentice, she quickly took on a leadership role and eventually inherited the title of Blade Breaker. She came to be known as Geralt the Second.
I hate that.
As she began to resemble him in all things, including his drinking habits, she left behind many unpaid tavern tabs. Leonie, come on, girl. What a terrible ending. 0 battles, 0 victories. This is why she turned to the drink.
Oh my god.
After returning home, Ignatz persuaded his family that he should become a painter. He traveled all through Fodlan and beyond, painting beautiful landscapes and captivating portraits of the world's cultures. His unique style set the artistic paradigm for a generation.
What the hell?
Raphael returned to his hometown to serve his liege lord as a knight. After years of loyal service, he resigned his duty to devote his attention to the inn that his grandfather and sister had opened during his time away. Eventually, he became the inn's proprietor and developed a reputation for astonishingly good cooking.
Joker, oh hell no, they screwed Leonie over in her solo. Yep.
Yes, they did. Soon after the war, Lorenz assumed leadership over House Gloucester and joined the realm of imperial politics as a representative of the Old Alliance lords. His political talent yielded revolutionary policy changes, many of which were particularly beneficial to the common folk. Annette returned to her hometown of Ferdiad, where she took up a teaching position at the Royal School of Sorcery. She was a gifted instructor, and many of her students went on to become world-renowned sages. Though her talent for teaching was remarkable in its own right, she was perhaps best remembered for effortlessly securing the trust and respect of her many students, as well as inspiring all who knew her by living a life of kindness, cheer, and humility. Even after the war's end, skirmishes continued to break out across Fodlan. Bored and restless in his capacity as Duke Fraldarius, Felix abandoned his title, jumping at the opportunity to wield a sword again. Little is known of his whereabouts thereafter, but even many years later, soldiers continued to whisper rumors of a mysterious man, able to deal swift death to scores of enemies. Yuri, one battle. Yeah. After Fodlan had healed from the war, Yuri's organization spent the next few decades cultivating and controlling illicit markets. Not coincidentally, wherever Yuri's underground business thrived, so too did orphanages and almshouses. For the awe and respect his generosity earned him among the downtrodden, Yuri became known as the Underground Lord.
Alright.
When Galatia territory was seized, Ingrid argued strongly for the preservation of its borders. Her request was granted and she was appointed to rule. From her new position, she gave her all to ensure that the people of Galatea lived peaceful lives and put in years of hard work to reform its farming practices. Her efforts bore fruit to the people's delight, and Galatea became a land of plenty. I really wish they were in their butler and maid outfit.
My God, yeah.
In recognition of his achievements during the war, Caspar was given the title of Minister of Military Affairs in the new Etruscan Empire. Though his command developed a reputation for occasional recklessness, he proved an able leader, guiding his troops to overcome countless obstacles. Long after his career had ended, tall tales of the glory and good cheer that he brought to his army endured. Linhart abandoned his inherited position in favor of a carefree life at Garrigmach Monastery. There he spent his days at ease, whiling away the hours at the fishing pond or in his private study. After his passing, a treasure trove of documents was unearthed, revealing the key discoveries he had made during his many years of crest research.
Okay.
As Margrave Gautier, Sylvain devoted his life to improving relations with the people of the Shreng region. With oration alone, he succeeded in helping to create a new way of life for nobles in which relics and crests were no longer viewed as necessary. Though he went down in history as an extraordinary lord, it nevertheless became customary to refer to cheaters as sons of Gautier. What a legacy Sylvain left.
What a fucking legacy.
Can Caspar spin dash? Absolutely he can.
Marianne, no.
Marianne returned home to a hero's welcome. The people praised her talent and acknowledged her as a savior of Fodlan. Her adoptive father groomed her as his successor, teaching her the power of words over weapons. By the time she claimed her inheritance, she had transformed into one of Fodlan's most skilled orators. All right. Lysithea lives!
Yay!
After the war, Lysithea returned to her parents in Ordelia territory. She was joined by Hanneman, and together the two worked to research a method by which to extend her lifespan. Some years later, their efforts bore fruit, and they devised a procedure to remove her crests. Afterward, Lysithea renounced her noble claim and continued to assist Hanneman with his research. When he passed, she took up his mantle, and by the great discoveries she made, came to be called the Golden Child of Crestology. So she got the real title. Hanneman made up his own, I'm thinking.
Yep. Fact.
All right. Mercedes and Yuritsa.
All right, not bad.
Once those who slither in the dark were finally defeated, Mercedes left home and opened a small orphanage in the Fargus region with her mother. After many years of kind service raising children who had lost their families, she received a letter bearing familiar handwriting. Its author, a prisoner in Enbar, expressed his sincerest well wishes to Mercedes and her family. Still more time passed until one day the man who wrote the letter paid her a visit. With joyful tears in her eyes, Mercedes smiled, took Emil by the hand, and at last welcomed him home.
Aww.
Shortly after the war, Shamir gave up the mercenary life and disappeared. Though she was never heard from again, rumors swirled persistently for years of a master archer turned thief who lined her pockets by shaking down all those who preyed upon the innocent.
She's a Robin Hood.
She is. Ash and Happy. After the war, Ash was formally knighted and appointed the new head of House Gaspard, which had no successors. He soon married Happy, whose competence lent much reliability to the governance of their territory. The ruling couple developed a frank and earnest relationship with their people, and the territory prospered. They were also blessed with many children, and their home was always so busy and full of merriment that there was never an occasion to sigh. It is said that Happy took such delight in recounting Ash's stories to their children that it became hard to believe she had ever despised knights.
Aww.
After officially becoming Duke Eyre, Ferdinand asked Emperor Edelgard if she would make him her Minister of Foreign Affairs rather than her Prime Minister. She granted his wish, and his first task in his new position was to negotiate with Petra, who had inherited the throne of Brigid and declared her kingdom's freedom from imperial vassalage. Ferdinand and Petra collaborated to deepen the friendship between their nations and forge a strong, enduring alliance. As a symbol of the nation's friendship, Ferdinand and Petra took up residence together in Nouvelle, on the western fringe of Fodlan. It is said that they negotiated for years to achieve this compromise. Balthus and Constance. Interesting. After the war, Balthus and Constance joined the battle against those who slither in the dark. The devastation they wrought in Shambhala was immortalized in a tapestry entitled Avatars of War, which preserved their legacy for generations. Afterward, the two were married. Constance was among the first to receive peerage from Emperor Edelgard, and though Balthus sometimes Chafed from being at the mercy of his wife's whims, the couple worked diligently to solidify the new social order under imperial rule. House Nouvelle was given no guarantee of continued power on a hereditary basis, but nevertheless achieved lasting status as a leader in the magical arts.
All right.
Yeah, there you go, Kat.
Yes!
The Middle Franc Opera Company was on the brink of collapse until two of its star songstresses, Manuela and Dorothea, returned to the stage and brought the troupe new life and prominence. They toured all around Fodlan, sometimes even visiting troops on the front lines, soothing hearts with their beautiful songs wherever they went, and donating their profits to the relief and rebuilding effort. When the damage from the war had finally healed, the pair once again retreated from the stage, this time retiring to a private life together. It is said that their relationship was full of light and love.
How is that not blatantly saying they're together?
I mean, it is.
I mean, it is. Good
It
enough.
100% is. Like, come on, Nintendo. All right, Hubie and Bernie. The marriage between Hubert, minister of the imperial household, and Bernadetta, leader of House Varley, was so surprising to the public that it was much talked about even outside of political circles in the capital. Bernadetta took the opportunity to survey the far reaches of the new Adrestian Empire, and in her absence, Hubert took well to the management of Varley territory. They proved to be an astonishingly good match, working together to protect Fodlan from the shadows. It is said that they showed their affection for one another by wearing matching embroidered flowers.
Aww. So cute.
Kit Kat and Edelgard ended the tyranny of a godlike being. Kit Kat was wounded and lost the power of the progenitor god, but it mattered not, as she and Edelgard had each other. To ensure lasting peace, the two fought against those who slither in the dark, and to ensure a society where people can rise and fall by their own merits, they spent their lives reforming the antiquated class system. They achieved much in their time together, and it is said that they were sometimes spotted leaving the palace to privately enjoy the world they had created. How they spent those precious moments, none but the two of them will ever know.
Hell yeah. Also, do we lose that power no matter who we end up with?
In Crimson Flower? Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep. In Crimson Flower, you lose it, but only Crimson Flower. Which again, kind of seems like more canon to me. I don't know.
Manuela and Dorothea's canon. Manuela just isn't that into Fanbylith. Bernie and
Oh yeah, for sure, Joker. Go ahead.
Fun fact,
The credit
Leonie
music
and
is
Felix
different.
ending in Crimson Flower, they became clowns to pay debts.
Oh my god.
Wait, really? Oh, we know. I feel this is the canon ending, personally. Yeah, that's fair. It just seems like everything's set right. Like, everything RHEA fucked with when she shouldn't have was...
Yeah.
Because the Crest of Flames, like, was that already in us, or did she put that in us?
That came with the Crest Stone.
Okay.
I mean, we... Like, when Byleth was dying as a baby, basically.
Yeah.
RHEA did that.
Gotcha. In Crimson Flower, Manuela helps Byleth fight off those who slither, but she ends up having to leave because she gets pregnant. When Byleth returns, they retire in peace with their only child. So, they're...
No, that's only
that
from...
with
That's with Manuela and Male Byleth.
Gotcha.
Leonie and Felix on non-Azure Moon. After the post-war chaos passed, however, work became scarce, and the pair eventually became so desperate that they rebranded themselves as street performers.
That's amazing.
That is amazing.
I cannot imagine that for Felix.
I mean, Leonie would probably just have a whole routine where she just pretended to be Geralt.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, Leonie does get so many bad endings, and she really doesn't deserve them. Like,
yeah.
I know she looked up to Geralt, but she really could have taken the good things from about him and not the
Yeah. That. Happy Bernie ended up with Hubert and not Yuritsa. Same. And also Yuritsa being
Agreed.
with his sister is probably the best thing.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, family reunited.
Yeah. Fire Emblem is a Nintendo exclusive series, so it's only been on Nintendo consoles. So not on PS4 or PC.
Unfortunately. Pretty music, though.
It is. Really want a more controllable ending way? Yeah. Agreed.
Like controlling more of who ends up with who.
Yeah.
Leonie got the alcoholism from dad? What, her dad or our dad?
Our dad.
Still weird.
Yuritsa going to jail for his crimes and coming out a reformed man shows that he's serious about reforming. It's true.
Yeah.
It was a pretty good ending.
I looked up so much.
Remembers him as a drunk that ran away from debt and then died.
I may have a problem.
Leonie took the wrong lessons from Gerald.
Yep. Yeah, just a bit.
Well, we did it, fam.
We fucking did it.
We beat this game again for the 5th time on stream.
Hell yeah. Hashtag
What'd you think, Kat, of this route?
Very good. I do think, like, it does feel more canon about, like, us turning back and stuff instead of being, like, the amalgamation, excuse me, that RHEA created.
Yeah. Crimson Flower is the only credits scene that doesn't play the sad version of Lady of Frostfelk since, you know, Edelgard gets her happy ending. Oh, that's good to know, too.
Interesting.
Only 5 times, need a 6th.
God, Leonie with Byleth, I'm scared of.
How will I miss time skip for the 6th? Aw, Lucius.
Aww.
I'm sorry you missed it.
Lucius. It was beautiful. I loved the cutscene a lot.
I know. I love that one too. I really like this one and also Golden Deer's cutscene is pretty good. Towards the end, I like that one with Claude.
That's my only gripe is that we did not get dubstep.
I know. We totally missed the dubstep music. Disappointing.
Disappointing.
Melia.
Runs only. Think she'll try this game out. Probably not for long, so Eco can get his game back. F.
Eco never got his game back. Spoiler.
Nope.
I mean, to be fair, I have my own version of the game, so if he wanted to play it, he could have, because he got me the collector's edition. So we technically have 2 copies of the game.
I mean, we have 2 copies of Animal Crossing, so that way River could play and I could play, so. When you like a game and you want to play it at the same time.
Yeah. And, I mean, the collector's edition is awesome. It gets really nice, so. When's the next Fire Emblem? Oh my goodness, you guys. Was 5 routes not enough?
Kita always has her VTuber up. Most always.
I think this is the only Fire Emblem stream, though.
This crown.
Fates. I want to play the other games, but I'm really hoping that they port them to the Switch or do remakes or something. Because I don't want to have to stream them from 3DS. I can, it's just a pain. Yeah. So I'm really hoping that they bring them to the Switch. If they do that, I'll give them a try. Especially because I really want to play Awakening. Because everyone says it's so good.
Yeah.
I missed the ending, and there's no other way to see it than go another round. Patience.
No other way.
Yes, we did do the DLC. Played through that twice, actually.
Yep. She did it for me, and then for yourself first, and then for me.
Yep.
So I could see it.
Yeah, Shinji, that's the only thing. It'll be weird to play some of the older games because they are a bit different from Three Houses. But I still want to give them a try and see.
Silver Snow feels too much like Golden Deer Light, but it's better than Azure Moon. Fair.
Played a bit of Awakening. Ika played through Awakening and liked it, and it seems interesting. Again, I just want it on the Switch. Fingers crossed.
Fingers
that we'll
crossed.
Get it. Yes. Also, wasn't there supposed to be a Nintendo Direct this week? It was people kept saying like, "Oh, there's going to be one." Well, there wasn't. It was a lie.
The Direct's a lie. I'm upset about it. I did not know. I'm upset to find out that it would have happened and then didn't.
It was just speculated that there was going to be one, but who knows? There still could be, I guess.
Yeah.
Hi, Dooms.
Hello.
Well, what are you going to be doing in the near future, Kat? What are you going to be playing?
Tomorrow, at noon Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, I will be playing Mario Kart and Splatoon 2 with the community.
Community Day.
Community Day. So yeah, we'll just be having fun, and anyone that has a Switch and wants to join can join as long as you follow the rules. We have a little command with rules about sharing friend code and stuff. But yeah, anyone is welcome to as long as they are nice beans.